I'm trying to figure out how to share the Zoom. So give me just a second here.
Lorena, I think we are live. I clicked on the link and
yeah, but is it showing you all or is it showing my camera?
it is showing your camera.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So let me stop.
I think if Sarah speaks, though, it'll show her.
Oh, okay, great.
I think.
Okay, and can you see if there are, it says 4 concurrent viewers. So I believe we have some folks out there. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself here on the Zoom.
Should I just get started then? Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Spencer, and I'm an admissions counselor for La Sierra University. I'm here with 2 of my colleagues today, Santiago and Samantha. Today, we're just very quickly going to go over some information about transferring to La Sierra. If you have any questions after the presentation, all of my contact information will be posted at the end of the presentation. So please don't hesitate to write that down or screenshot it if you do have any questions so that you can follow up with us at any time. So here are some quick facts about La Sierra. We are located in Riverside, just off the 91 freeway. We are a small private Christian university, but we do accept students from all faith backgrounds. We have around 2,000 students in total at La Sierra, and for our undergraduate students, we have around 60 majors with an average class size of about 20 students. All of our undergrad students do have both a faculty and an academic advisor that work with you throughout your program to ensure that you're getting the classes that you need for your degree program. And then for those interested in going into healthcare, we do have a dedicated pre-health advisor on our campus, and we do also have a close relationship with Loma Linda University, and their recruiters actually help to advise our pre-health students also. So La Sierra is a great choice for anyone that's considering going into Loma Linda someday. Here's just a quick list of some of the resources that we do have available for students. Because of time, I'm not really going to go into these today, but if you do have any questions about these, please feel free to reach out to us. So the most important question that I think we'll go over today is, how do you apply? For La Sierra, our application is quick and easy. The first step is to complete the free online application, and you can find our application on our website at lasierra.edu/apply. And we don't have an application deadline, so you can apply for any of our 3 start dates at any time. And our 3 start dates are going to be fall, winter, and spring. The second step is to submit the application requirements, which I'll go over more on the next slide. And then lastly, once everything has been turned in, your application is reviewed for acceptance and then evaluated for transfer units. Here's the list of our admission requirements. You must have completed at least 8 semester or 12 quarter units with the 2.0 cumulative GPA. We also require that you submit official high school and college transcripts, but if anyone has like an associate's degree, then we typically don't require the high school transcript. There's also an exception if you have completed a certain number of units. And then for our incoming ADT students, you're not required to submit your high school transcripts, but we do require that you submit a form on our website called the Intent to Enroll form. And if anyone wants to be directed to that form, let me know and I can happily send that to you. And then for all of our transfer students, I do want to point out that we don't require any test scores or letters of recommendation or any sort of writing sample or anything like that. All we require is the application and the transcripts. So for our ADT students, we do accept 20 ADTs here at La Sierra, and you can find the full list of the ones that we accept on our website. As an ADT student, you enter La Sierra as a junior, and you only need to take the core classes for your major. And if you're completing a similar degree program, you can complete that similar program at La Sierra in 2 years. And then for those of you interested in learning more about our ADT programs, you can always check out our website. I have the link listed here for you, and then you can always reach out to me and I can connect you with our ADT advisor. So here's some quick information about our financial aid and tuition. If anyone is interested in learning more about our tuition and financial aid, please feel free to reach out to me and I can provide you with more detail and also do a financial estimate for you. Keep in mind that these are the costs before any scholarships or financial aid is applied. So the costs that are quoted here on the slide will continue to go down significantly. Primarily, most of our transfer students do commute to campus, and the total cost for that is usually around $34,000. And then for those that do want to live on campus in one of our dorm options, the total tuition fees, including room and board, is usually just around $43,000. About 95% of our undergrad students at La Sierra do qualify for financial assistance. So like I said, those prices I quoted on the previous slide are going to go down for primarily all of our students. We do offer various types of financial aid, including university scholarships, which we offer need-based and merit-based scholarships, federal and state financial aid. We do accept any external scholarships that you may have received. And then if anyone does qualify for education benefits with the VA, we do accept 7 education chapters, including the Yellow Ribbon program. And on our website, we do have a veterans website where you can find the full list of the chapters that we accept and how to sign up to receive those benefits through La Sierra. We have also recently launched a brand new information hub for our transfer students. Our new transfer webpage does have all of the information for our incoming transfer students. So if you are really interested in checking out La Sierra and transferring here in the future, definitely check that out to see if it answers a lot of the questions that you're looking for, and it'll provide you with a lot more information. So that's all I have for you. If you do have any questions, please feel free to check out our website, which is lasierra.edu. You can also go to our transfer website, which is lasierra.edu/transfer. And here is all of my contact information. So if you'd like to schedule an appointment, request a financial estimate, or have any additional questions, you can always call me, text me, or email me at any time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So next we'll be hearing from Pepperdine.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here and learning more about our schools. My name is Tiffany Marmolejo. I'm a recruitment advisor from Pepperdine Grad Studio Business School. I'm also a current student pursuing my MBA, so lots on the Pepperdine front happening. As you can see here, this is our beautiful campus. We are located in the sunny Malibu, California. So right off the coast, we always get voted most beautiful campus, and you can see why. Today, I'm going to be talking to you specifically about business majors, but Pepperdine is known for a lot of different degrees, including psychology, biology, economics, and sports medicine. So for those of you who are interested in anything other than business, I recommend taking a quick picture, getting in contact with my colleague, Michael. He is for our traditional students who are looking to transfer specifically into our Malibu campus. Today, I'll be covering a program that's at Pepperdine Grad Studio Business School, which is our Bachelor of Science in Management. This degree is offered either in the West LA campus or fully online. And this is specific for transfer students looking to complete their MBA in at least one additional year post-graduation. So go ahead, one more second to screenshot, and I'll go ahead and move to my next slide. So we are talking about the Bachelor of Science in Management program. This is based out of our graduate level business school, meaning that all of our professors teach in the graduate level programs, but you get access to them in your bachelor's degree. Now, all our class sizes are really small. My business law class right now only has 13 students, so my professor actually knows my name. Who would have thought that was a thing? So this is a 2-year program to complete. We are looking for 60 units of transfer credit, And if you don't have 60 units yet, don't worry. I actually work with my students one-on-one to handpick your classes and make sure you feel successful in terms of your transfer. When you graduate from the Bachelor of Science in Management program, you'll have 120 units in total, which will make up your bachelor's degree. Now, these programs are taught over 15-week trimesters. So if you don't know the difference, trimesters versus quarters, make sure you look that up. It's really going to change your learning style. And then this program in particular is accessible for working professionals. So this is specifically for evening classes. And then there'll be 3 Saturdays over your semester. So only 3. So if you are working full-time or trying to help out family, this is a great program for you. Like I mentioned, this is offered fully online, or you can drive into our West LA campus. Now, as an added bonus for coming into this program, we do have our MBA joint degree. So students who graduate from our Bachelor of Science in Management program, specifically through Grazia Dio, have the opportunity to complete their master's in 1 additional year. And we made the deal a little bit sweeter. So if you graduate with a 3.7 to a 3.89, you will also get a 50% tuition discount on your MBA. And if you graduate with a 3.9, you will get a free MBA. Yes, free. I wish I had that savings right now, just going through the program myself. So this is a great program if long-term your goal is to complete that MBA. Now, I'll list our transfer requirements up here, but they always look scary, so feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to go over this with you. I think the biggest highlights is we do not require business calculus. A lot of my business students love that. And then in addition, we don't require a lab for your natural science. Last but not least, I've seen a lot of veterans coming in. Please send over your joint services transcripts. We actually will count those all for your electives, so we will take those in as well. And we also offer a transfer admission guarantee. So this is specific to the Bachelor of Science in Management program. If you have at least a cumulative 2.8 GPA, 60 units of transferable credit, and at least 2 years of paid work experience. Now, this can be retail. You worked for Starbucks. I have entrepreneurs who started their own companies. And I even have CEOs in this program as well. So all different mixes of life. But if you want to see if you qualify, again, feel free to reach out. I will also touch high level on scholarships that we have offered. So we can offer up to 57% of your tuition to be covered by Pepperdine, which is a total of $45,000, depending on your incoming work experience as well as your cumulative GPA. So this is really important to think about when you're transferring to schools. On top of that, all of your Pell Grants and Cal Grants will also come in as well. So just keep in mind, the sticker price isn't always the final price with a lot of private schools. I'm going to go ahead and leave my information on here. My name is Tiffany again. I'm all the way on your, I think it's your left. Feel free to screenshot. I'd love to get in touch. Even if you think Pepperdine is a dream school, I love working with my students to make it a reality school. So please feel free to reach out, even if you really don't know if this is the best program for you. So last but not least, we do enroll 3 times a year. So we're currently accepting students for our spring semester, which actually starts January 4th. So I'd love to start working with you now. We also have our summer semester open and our fall semester open. So we're one of the few programs that actually accepts transfers 3 times a year. So we'll find out what the best transfer date is for you, and I'll get you started on the application. Thank you guys so much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leticia Garay, and I'm representing UC Davis today. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm actually a UC Davis alumna, so I'm pretty excited to talk about all things Davis and student life. So I know today's presentation is pretty short, but if you have additional questions about that particular part of campus, go ahead and feel free to reach out to me directly at the end of the presentation. A little bit about us. We actually are located in Northern California. We are the northernmost UC campus, and we are one of 9 within the system. We like to say we are centrally located just because we have some pretty cool locations around us and within driving distance. We're about 20 minutes from the state capitol, which means that if you are interested into going into public policy or anything with politics, we have firsthand connections in the Capitol. If you are pre-med, we actually have our medical school in Sacramento as well, where you get to do internships as an undergraduate student and get to work with medical professionals firsthand. If you're looking to do something different on the weekends, it's very common for our students to actually carpool together and coordinate camping or hiking trips, either in Lake Tahoe or even in Yosemite, and then make it back in time for Monday morning classes. So quite a bit to do on our campus, even though we are a college town and have a different type of college experience on campus. A little bit about us. So we started off as a university farm for UC Berkeley back in the day before we became our individual campus. And so you'll see that some of our highest rankings are in our agricultural and environmental sciences, in addition to the veterinary sciences. However, I do want to showcase that we are the 5th best public university in the nation. So that means that students who come to Davis are well prepared for their next step after graduation, whether it's for graduate school. So fun fact, actually, 80% of our pre-med students get into their first or second medical school choice. Or if they're going into a career, our students are pretty prepared. And a lot of employers come to us directly to recruit for our students and even recruit for students on campus. But despite our really high rankings in those areas I mentioned earlier, we actually have over 100 different majors and minors. And you'll see that we have our top 5 listed on the right-hand side. But we are broken up by 4 different colleges, and that's just a way to group our students that have slightly different graduation requirements and different requirements on the transfer level. So if you already know what type of major you're looking into, it's going to be important to pay attention to the college because it may change your transfer admission requirements. And because we have so many majors and we understand that it's a lot to navigate, we actually have a few different resources for you. So our first is our TAPS, our Transfer Admission Planner. And this is an online planner, much like what you probably have at your community college, except that it's at the UC level. So whether you're interested at UC Davis or UC Berkeley or any of our other 9 campuses, creating a planner is the first step to getting proper advising to any of these campuses. So it's a kind of universal tool within the system. And then we do have a transfer admission guarantee as well. This is going to be open to 6 out of the 9 campuses, Davis being one of them. All of our majors are open to the tag with the exception of the computer science major. And so this is actually our submission month. So if you're interested in getting a guarantee, then feel free to reach out and we can talk about how to prepare with the remaining couple of days. If you're, a whole year out from applying, then we'll actually have advisors and one-on-one appointments where we can help you coordinate to make sure you're meeting those requirements. And then for financial aid, so we are, because we are a public university, a lot of our financial aid to cover tuition is going to actually come from the FAFSA or the California DREAM Act. So, that's pretty much the biggest step you can take to getting financial aid for our campuses. And so you'll see that we do have some pretty big need-based financial aid, primarily that Blue and Gold Opportunity Plan, which will allow students to cover their entire tuition for the 2 to 3 years that they're coming into transfer. So it's a really big help. And so I like to throw this in there because especially if you are like a first generation student, you might not know a lot about financial aid at the college level. It can be quite scary when you look up the overall cost of attendance, which includes tuition. And so it might be like it's a little out of your range, but as somebody who went through the system, having something like the Blue and Gold really, really limits the amount of loans that you're going to get and how much you need to take out. So it's pretty helpful. And we can definitely talk more in depth about that. And very quickly, I do want to go over the admission timeline. So I did mention that we are one of 9 campuses within the system. And so we do have one UC application for the entire system. So whether you're applying to just Davis or applying to all 9 of our campuses, you only have to start one UC application. It's all self-reported, so no transcripts are needed. We don't ask for letters of recommendation. It's mostly academic work, and then there are some personal insight questions or PIQs that are short essay prompts you'll have to write. If you're looking to submit the tag, that is going to be in the month of September. This is optional, so depending on whether or not you would like to pursue a tag for your major. And then the application is due in November. So you have until November 30th to officially submit that. And then you'll hear back from us in mid to late April. If you're applying to multiple UC campuses, it will be anytime in the month of April. So don't panic if you hear from one of us before the other. Just give us the entire month to get all of those decisions out. And then you'll have until June 1st to decide on a UC campus if you are going that route. So on our very last slide here, you'll see our contact. So there's quite a bit of different schools here in the session. And so we actually have individual UC Davis representatives offering those one-on-one appointments per community college. So if you go to that website, you'll be able to see who to contact to make those appointments and talk more in depth. But you can also reach out directly to our advisors, and I can put you in touch as well. So thank you for your information or for your time, and hopefully you get some good information out of this.
Thank you. Okay, our final presenter is from University of San Diego.
Give me a second. Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew Alcerimi Espiritu. I'm the Transfer Admissions Counselor here at the University of San Diego, here to talk to you about the transfer process. So first and foremost, we are located in central San Diego. We're probably the most central campus in the 8th largest city in the United States. Our undergraduate student population is just under 5,600 students. We often refer to ourselves as the Goldilocks of schools. We're not too big, we're not too small, we're just right. This is really going to have a huge impact on your student experience as a transfer student. Knowing that, we do serve transfer students around the state, and especially here in the San Diego region or Southern California region, please note that you're not going to be the only transfer student on our campus. Approximately 28% of our students, of this 5,529, are transfer students who are coming from, the majority of which are coming from California community colleges, but they also may be coming from other four-year schools as well. We are a nationally ranked beautiful campus in the nation. Definitely come check us out. Out in the horizon, as you can see, there is the bay, so we are very close to the ocean, and our students, of course, take advantage of that. Now, as far as transfer student support, there are several ways that we support our new incoming transfer students. First and foremost, we do have transfer student orientation that typically takes place the weekend before school starts. It's typically a 2 to 3 day orientation where you get introduced to the various resources that are available to you on campus. That said, you're also introduced to these fine folks that you see on the bottom picture. These are what are known as TSAs. They are transfer scholastic assistants. They were in your shoes not so long ago in that they transferred from a community college or four-year school, and they're going to be your peer mentor. They're really going to show you around campus. They're going to, answer any or all of your questions that you may have, whether they be small or big, and they're really helping you to transition or make your transition to a four-year school seamless. On top of that, all of our new incoming transfer students are assigned to a transfer learning community where you basically incorporate the academic and social components within that semester. So you'll be taking a class. That class will fulfill a requirement within our general education requirement, right? And please note, for students who are coming in with 60 units, and you're like, hey, I finished all of my general ed. There's absolutely nothing else that I have to take to, at USD to fulfill, your requirements. Well, please also note that we are a private liberal arts school. So our general education requirement will look different from the UCs or the CSUs or any other state schools that you may be pursuing admission to. Oftentimes, the course that students have to take, because it is a part of our general education requirement, is a theology or religious study course. Now, as far as our admission requirements are concerned, we are very flexible. We offer a flexible path towards admission in that our minimum requirements to transfer to USD is a 3.0 cumulative college GPA and 24 transferable units, which are semester based. If you are coming from a quarter school, that would be 36 quarter units. For students who are looking to apply to USD by just fulfilling the minimum, we ask that you try to align yourself with the core curriculum as much as possible, which is known as our general education requirement, and I can definitely help you with that. But there's also we also advise that you should take college level algebra and English composition and literature. As far as the 43 majors that we offer on campus, none of them are impacted. So you can apply to any major that you would like at USD, even for more of the traditional impacted majors that you may come across during your journey. So one of those areas is our School of Business. Our School of Business now offers 9 individualized majors, and you can actually go straight into the School of Business if you like, or you can go straight into our School of Engineering. There is some, foundational prep work that we advise that you take, but again, none of our majors are impacted, so you can come in with one of those prep courses completed or none of the prep courses completed. The majority of our general education requirement aligns itself with IGETC. So yes, you can be considered for USD by fulfilling, some of the requirements that are, unique to the state institutions. Again, our general education requirement looks a little bit different. So there may be some extra areas that you may not have fulfilled should you transfer to USD, but it is quite all right if you complete them here. There's various ways that you can connect with us at USD to learn more about the transfer process. We do hold bi-monthly transfer information sessions, oftentimes, thoroughly going over the transfer process and then also highlighting some of our unique features of our campus. So oftentimes we'll hold student panels, sometimes we'll highlight specific schools, and then other times we'll use it as an opportunity for you to connect with, faculty, administrators that really take the brunt of onboarding students. Transfer Tuesdays are also available at USD. Basically, they're open appointment days. Those appointments are oftentimes with me, so I'll share my information on the last slide. And then last but not least, our application deadlines every single year. We do admit for both the fall and spring terms. So if you are thinking about transferring this spring of 2022, which begins on the last Monday of January, that application deadline is coming up on October 1st. If you are looking at fall 2022, you do have quite a bit of time. That application deadline is March 1st. So please keep in mind that we are a private institution. So our cost of attendance, our tuition costs, is not subsidized, especially if you are a California resident by your state taxes. So our cost of attendance is higher than the state institutions, but please keep in mind that 76% of our students receive financial assistance of some kind. Transfer merit scholarships are new. They were just awarded to our incoming fall students this year. You are automatically considered for transfer merit scholarships based on your cumulative college GPA and the number of units that you have completed at the time of applying. So to kind of talk about them in general, any student who has 24 units completed at the time of applying as well as a 3.75 cumulative college GPA, will be automatically awarded a $10,000 scholarship that is guaranteed for up to 3 years. So, if you are a student who's coming in with 2 years worth of coursework, you're guaranteed that for 2 years or however long it takes you to complete your degree, 2 to 3 years. Or if you're coming in, with just 24 units, you have essentially 3 years where you can receive that scholarship. University scholarships are also available. Typically, they're tied to talent. You're looking at our NCAA Division I athletic scholarships. You're looking at music scholarships, choral scholarships, NROTC scholarships, but also departmental scholarships. So those things, the departmental scholarships really come into play after your first semester at USD because you would need to be involved in that particular department in order to be considered for them. Last but not least, definitely fill out the FAFSA by March 2nd. That will put you into consideration for any free money. We're talking about our Pell Grants, the Cal Grant, any institutional aid, and also loans. Here is my contact information. Feel free to connect with me at any time, either through email. You can also schedule an appointment directly with me through my Calendly website. And then our transfer specific website is fairly easy to remember, sandiego.edu/transfer admissions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. So we did have a couple of questions. There were about 20 students in this session. The first question is for UC Davis regarding the TAP review. And the question is whether or not students are able to schedule an appointment with you.
Yes, so that's a great question. We are holding one-on-one advising sessions. Actually, we started this month. And so I'll go ahead and drop the link in the chat so you can share it with us, the students, Lorena, so that they can get in contact with their advisor who will be doing those sessions.
Okay, I will do that. And while I do that, I'll ask the next couple of questions, which were both for University of San Diego. The first question is, do you have an accelerated program within the business school where you can achieve an MBA in 5 years? And the second question is, what was your number of transfer students for fall 2019 and fall 2020?
Sure, I can answer that question. So we do have a joint BA MBA program at USD. It's not direct admission, so you wouldn't be applying for it directly as like when you submit your transfer application. It would be something that you could be considered for during your senior year or your last year at USD, in which we will you would be working with a school business advisor to ensure that you have the requirements, and they'll walk you through the steps of pursuing that option. As far as the number of fall students that we onboard at USD, I don't remember the exact number from fall 2019 and fall 2020, honestly, but we always bring in around 340 to 370 transfer students for the fall, and typically around 130 to 150 in the spring.
All right, thank you all so much. So that will conclude this session. I'm trying to copy over what you put in the chat into the YouTube. It didn't copy over so well. So give me a couple minutes to do that, and then we'll restart in like 2 minutes here. Thank you all so much. Actually, we do have one more question, was hidden under there. For San Diego, do you offer a major in sign language interpreting? And is there a GPA for that major?
Sure. So unfortunately, of the 17 languages that we offer at USD, we don't offer American Sign Language. As far as answering the other question more generally, there's not necessarily a specific GPA that you need to achieve per assigned major, only because we don't admit by major at USD. So if you are, when you are accepted here, you can declare any major that you like.
All right, thank you for that. One final question, and then we'll restart from the top with La Sierra again. And so this question is for UC Davis. This person says, I see that you do have a PA program. What majors would you advise for such a program? And what would be the acceptance rate? Hopefully I unmuted myself. Did you hear the question for UC Davis? I think that is Leticia Garay.
Hi, yeah, sorry, you cut off a little bit, so I didn't hear.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm trying to juggle both of these screens here. The question is, I see that you have a PA program at UC Davis. What majors would you advise for such a program, and what would be the acceptance rate?
Yeah, so our PA program is a graduate level degree that we have. So we would, you would have to complete your undergraduate, your bachelor's degree first before going into the PA program. You can do it at Davis or you can do it anywhere else as long as it's an accredited university. In terms of majors though, because the PA program does not require a specific major, we only look at specific coursework for that program. It really is open to whatever the student wants as long as they complete those subset of courses. But some of the more popular majors tend to be human development, anything in the College of Biological Sciences or a biology type of major. Psychology is also a pretty popular major. But like I said, it's open to whatever major as long as you complete those kind of science coursework for the program. And in terms of acceptance rates, because it is a graduate level program, I actually don't know that specific rate.
All right, thank you so much to all of you, and thank you for everyone, your patience on this format. So we're going to go ahead and begin again, and we're going to start from the top of our list, which was La Sierra University, and you'll each have 5 minutes, and then we'll ask the questions again in the end.
All right, well, good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Spencer, and I'm an admissions counselor at La Sierra University. I'm also here today with my colleagues Santiago and Samantha, who can help me answer any questions that come in when we're done today. Today, we're going to just very quickly go over some basic information about transferring to La Sierra. And if anyone does have any questions after today, all of my contact information will be listed at the end of the presentation. So please feel free to write it down or screenshot my information, and then you can follow up with me at any time. So here are some quick facts about La Sierra. We are located in Riverside. We are a small private Christian university, but we do accept students from all faith backgrounds. We have around 2,000 students in total at La Sierra. For our undergraduate students, we do offer around 60 majors, and we have an average class size of about 20 students. All of our undergrad students have both a faculty and academic advisor that work with you throughout your program to ensure that you're getting the classes that you need for your degree program. And then for those of you interested in going into healthcare specifically, we also have a dedicated pre-health advisor on our campus. And we also have a close relationship with Loma Linda University, and their recruiters actually help to advise our pre-health students. So La Sierra is going to be a great choice for anyone considering going into a healthcare program at Loma Linda someday. Just very quickly, here's a list of some of the resources available to our students. Just because of time, I'm not going to talk about any of these right now, but if you do have any questions specifically about these resources, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. So how do you apply? This is probably the most important question that you have today. Our application is quick and easy at La Sierra. The first step is to complete the free application, which you can find on our website. Just go to lawsierra.edu/apply. And we don't have any application deadlines, so you can apply at any time for any of our 3 start dates, which are fall, winter, and spring. The second step is to submit the application requirements, which I'll go over more a little bit on the next slide. And then lastly, once everything has been turned in, then your application is reviewed for acceptance and evaluated for transfer units. So for the application requirements, you must have complete at least 8 semester or 12 quarter units with a 2.0 GPA. We also require that you submit official high school and college transcripts, but there are some exceptions for the high school transcript. If you have like an associate's degree or a certain number of units, then we don't require that you submit the high school transcript. We would only require the college transcript for those students. And then for our incoming ADT students, you are also not required to submit the high school transcript, but there is an additional form on our website that you would need to complete. And then I do want to point out that for our transfer students, we don't require any test scores or writing samples or letters of recommendation. All we need for our transfer students is the application and your transcripts. For those of you getting an ADT, we do accept 20 ADTs. And on our website, you can find the full list of the ADTs that we accept. As an ADT student, you enter La Sierra as a junior, and you only need to take the core classes for your major. And if you're enrolling in a similar degree program, then you can complete your program in 2 years. For those of you interested in learning more about our ADT programs, you can always check out our website, or you can reach out to me and I can connect you with our ADT advisor. So I'm just going to touch briefly on financial aid and tuition. If you're interested in getting more information about this, please feel free to reach out to me and I can provide you with more detail or do a financial estimate for you. Keep in mind that these are the costs before any scholarship and financial aid is applied. So these costs will go down significantly for you. For our transfer students that commute to campus and don't live in the dorms, the total tuition and fees is just over $34,000 for the year. And then for those that want to live on campus in one of our dorm options, total tuition and fees is around $43,000, and that price does include room and board. About 95% of our undergraduate students at La Sierra do qualify for financial assistance. So those prices that I quoted on the previous slide, like I said, will go down for you. We do offer various types of financial aid, including university scholarships, which includes need-based and merit-based scholarships, federal and state financial aid. We do also accept external scholarships. And then if anyone does qualify for education benefits with the VA, we do accept 7 education chapters, including the Yellow Ribbon program. And on our website, you can find a full list of the chapters that we accept and how you can sign up to receive those benefits with us. We recently launched a brand new information hub for our transfer students. We have a brand new transfer website, which does contain all of the relevant information for our incoming transfer students. So if you are interested in learning more about transferring to La Sierra, definitely check out that website. It's lawsierra.edu/transfer, and it has information about our veterans resources, financial aid information, transfer equivalencies, any upcoming events, and more. So that's going to be the end. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can always text me, call me, email me. I have my appointment link there, so go ahead and jot that down if you want to schedule an appointment with me. You can also always check out our website, lawsierra.edu, and specifically our transfer website, which is lawsierra.edu/transfer. Thank you.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Tiffany Marmolejo. I am a recruitment advisor from Pepperdine Grat CDO Business School. And as a fun fact, I am also currently pursuing my MBA at Pepperdine. So yes, working full-time and a student just like all of you out there. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to my school. This is Pepperdine. We are located in the beautiful Malibu, California. We always get voted most beautiful campus, and you can definitely see why here. So this is home to our traditional undergraduate school, which houses business administration, psychology, biology, economics, and sports medicine, just to name a few of the most popular ones. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a little bit different of a program. So today, I'm going to be speaking specifically to our Bachelor of Science in Management program, which is a business degree based out of our graduate level business school. Now, for those of you who are not interested in going the business route and want to go into one of the other majors I just listed, I'll leave this up for a moment. Feel free to screenshot my colleagues' information. Michael will be happy to answer any questions. For me in particular, I'll be talking about the Bachelor of Science in Management. So we'll go ahead and get started. Again, so this is a transfer specific program. So what happens is students who transfer into this program will graduate within 2 years. Now, I know that seems weird, like everyone's expecting to graduate within 2 years, but not necessarily. So we want to make sure that we point that out. You are guaranteed to graduate within your 2 years as long as you maintain your academic excellence. We are looking for specifically 60 units to transfer. So I actually work with my students one-on-one to set up a game plan and make sure you feel confident and comfortable about the classes that you're taking. And so total, you'll take all of your undergraduate credits, undergraduate lower division credits at community college, pair them with the 60 units that you take with us, and that will make up your 120 units that make up your degree. We are on a 15-week trimester. So this is going to be a little bit different than quarter system. So definitely take a look and decide what's going to work best for your learning style. This program in particular is accessible to working professionals. So this is specifically for evening classes with the additional add of 3 Saturdays over the semester. So for my students who are working that 9 to 5 or 40, 50 hours a week, or just trying to work more hours, this is a great program for you so you can feel successful in the workplace and in your degree. Now, this program in particular is also offered fully online, which I know we've had the convenience of living and working from home for the past over a year. So if you like that style and that's really your learning, we do this as a synchronous online program. So this is going to give you still that interaction with your classmates and with your professor. Right now, my business law professor, we only have 13 people in our class. So he actually knows my name. He knows a little bit about me, and he's really involved with my education and my learning. In addition, we also offer this at our West LA campus for those of you who are looking to make the drive out a couple times a week and really enjoy meeting with people in person. Now, as an added bonus of this program, if you are considering an MBA, this is definitely the program for you. I wish I had this when I was doing my undergrad. So what happens is when you come into the Bachelor of Science in Management program, it is a graduate level school, meaning that the classes that you're taking are with graduate level professors. You have access to professors who teach in the MBA and the doctoral levels. And what happens is if you graduate with your Bachelor of Science in Management with a 3.4 GPA, you can continue on to complete your master's degree in 1 additional year. So imagine 3 years after you transfer, not only will you have a bachelor's, but you'll also have a master's. And in addition to that, we're making the deal a little bit sweeter. If you graduate with a 3.7 GPA, we'll also give you a 50% tuition discount on your MBA, which is unheard of for most schools, especially for Pepperdine. So, and then if you get a 3.9 GPA, you will actually get a full ride, a free MBA. Yes, I said free. Yes, it's exciting. So we definitely should talk about how to get into the program. So I wanted to show you guys the transfer requirements. Please keep in mind transfer requirements for every school is going to be different. I'm just going to say a few highlights about ours. We do not require business calculus for my business majors. I know a lot of my students are scared of calculus. I don't blame you. We're looking for college algebra or college statistics. In addition to that, we do not require a natural science lab, which is great. And then last but not least, our electives are pretty much anything under the sun that you've taken at your school. So for my military, we take your joint services transcripts. For my ESL students, we'll actually take your ESL classes as part of your electives as well. So I work with my students one-on-one. I pull up your transfer guides and we pick out classes that are going to help you transfer in the time that you want to get started. Now, we also have a transfer admission guarantee or a TAG program. So yes, you can be guaranteed admission into this program. We're looking for at least a 2.8 cumulative GPA, 60 units of transferable credit, and at least 2 years of work experience. Now, work experience can be, you can be a Starbucks barista, you can work for a family business, you can even we have CEOs and CFOs that come into this program as well. It's kind of everything under the sun. As long as it's paid work experience, this is something that you definitely qualify for the program. And if you're not sure if it's paid work experience, feel free to reach out and I can definitely clarify that for you. Now, last but not least, I know not all of you are listening are necessarily business majors, but I do want to point out my biggest piece of advice for students who are transferring. The sticker price is not the end price. So a lot of times that sticker price is going to come down pretty drastically. I think you'll hear it in all of my colleagues' presentations today. We do give out some institutional merit, which means this is what the university will gift to you based on specific criterion. So for Pepperdine Grazie Dio, we are looking at your numbers of years of work experience as well as your incoming GPA. Now for that in particular, that can cover up to $45,000 of your incoming tuition. So I always tell my students, reach out, ask questions. In addition to that, any Pell Grants or Cal Grants that you have earned or any external scholarships, all of that money will also go on top of these institutional merit scholarships, as well as for our veterans, any GI Bill benefits or 9/11 benefits, that will all come in as well. So always ask the questions and don't get scared of that sticker price. I'm going to go ahead and leave my information up. Feel free to scan the QR code. I'm more than happy to meet with my students one-on-one. I help with the application process and I help make sure everyone feels confident and comfortable with the classes that they're taking and just feel successful coming into the program. Last but not least, I think it's also important to point out that we actually accept applications 3 times a year. So some schools only do 2. For us in particular, we do 3. So for the spring semester, you still have time, even for our procrastinators out there. October 1st is our priority deadline. That does come with a $1,000 early application scholarship, and that would be to start classes in January. If you're not quite ready, then we also have the summer semester available, and that will be coming up on February 1st for that deadline. And then, of course, we also have the fall semester open as well. So feel free to reach out. I'd love to talk and give you some advice, and especially if anyone's looking into an MBA, I'm currently going through it. So thanks, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leticia Correa, and I'm representing UC Davis today. So very quickly, I'm actually a UC Davis alumna. So if you have any questions about student life, feel free to ask them through the chat, and I am more than happy to answer those questions for you. But a little bit about our campus. So we are located in Northern California. And we are actually the northernmost UC campus, and we are 1 out of 9 UC campuses in the University of California system. We like to say we're centrally located because we have some really nice destinations that our students really take advantage of. So we're about 20 minutes away from the state capital, Sacramento, which is especially useful if you are hoping to get into policy or politics, or if you're interested in pre-med, we even have our medical school in Sacramento that allows our undergraduate students to work with doctors firsthand and get that internship and research experience. Apart from that, a lot of our students like to take advantage of the fact that we're close to Lake Tahoe and Yosemite. So it's very common for our students to coordinate weekend trips for camping, hiking, whitewater rafting, you name it, in one of these locations, spend the weekend there, and then make it in time for Monday morning classes with their classmates. So quite a bit to do even outside of our campus. We are a college town, so that means that 50% of our city is actually made up of students. So you'll see that everything revolves around student life. And so, apart from having all of that within the campus, our students do like to be able to go out and explore Northern California. So here are some rankings, and as a very quick history lesson, we did start off as the university research farm for UC Berkeley before we became our own independent campus. So that's why you'll see that a lot of our highest rankings are in the agricultural, environmental sciences, and veterinary sciences area. However, you'll see in the next slide that we have a lot of different majors to choose from. But for this one specifically, I did want to showcase that we are the 5th best public university in the nation. So you are really getting a good return on investment in your studies. And our students are pretty prepared when it comes to graduate schools or even careers after graduation. A little fun fact is that a little over 80% of our students who are pre-med will actually get into their first or second choice for medical school. And we have a lot of programs designed to prepare our students for that next step. Like I mentioned, we have quite a bit of different areas. So you'll see that our top majors are not really focused in those top ranks. And so, that just allows our students to choose from different areas. We have over 100 different majors and almost as many minors. Our managerial economics major here is actually our business-related program on campus for undergraduate students. We have 4 different colleges, and depending on which college your major falls under, your transfer admission requirements may be different. So major is going to be important in dictating what is going to be a requirement for us. And we know that it's a little bit hard to navigate all these resources or requirements for all of our students, especially if you're applying broadly across different systems and even, out of state, public versus private. And so we actually have our transfer admission planner, or the TAP, which is a good way to facilitate advising across the UC system. So if you're interested in UC Davis, but you're also interested in one of our other campuses like UC Berkeley, UC Riverside, whatever other UC campus, creating this one planner allows advisors from any of these campuses to be able to advise you on the transfer requirements so that you're not on your own trying to figure out what you have to do in order to be eligible. In addition to that, we have our transfer admission guarantee, which is a different admissions process essentially with different requirements, but in completing these requirements, you are going to be admitted under the major that you're applying for. It is available to 1 out of the 6 campuses, so not all 9 campuses offer it, and they are different requirements across the campus. So it's very important to pay attention the major and the campus that you're applying to if you're doing the TAG program. Very quickly about our financial aid. So you'll see a little bit about the average of what our students are looking at for financial aid. A lot of our financial aid is going to come from the FAFSA or the California Dream Act. So in submitting one of those 2 applications, you'll get quite a bit of money to cover tuition. So you'll see that the Blue and Gold Opportunity Program is a need-based financial aid program throughout the entire UC system. And then qualifying through one of either the FAFSA or the California Dream Act, it will actually cover the entirety of your tuition for those 2 to 3 years as a transfer student. So it's very important to fill out those applications with the appropriate timeline because that will automatically reduce your cost of attendance to come per academic year by almost 50%. And then lastly, I do kind of want to wrap it up with a quick timeline of our admission cycle here. So we do share one UC application for the entire system. So creating that will allow you to apply to one campus or all 9, depending on what you're interested in. The application is self-reported, so no transcripts and no letters of recommendations are required, but it will require you to submit your academic coursework, and then also write 4 personal insight questions, which are pretty short essay prompts. If you're interested in the tag application, this is actually a month to submit it. So you have until September 30th to submit that tag application. It is a separate link, so it is important to reach out if you're having trouble to find that, but we can definitely help you with it. And then in the month of November, you have to also submit the UC application if you are doing the tag. If you're not doing the tag, then you'll just submit the one UC application by November 30th. And then you'll hear back from us, specifically UC Davis in the late April, but all the UC campuses will release sometime in April. So don't panic if you hear from one of us before you hear from the other. It's going to be sometime in the month of April. And then if you are focusing on UC admissions, you'll have until June 1st to decide which campus you'd like to go to. And so this is, kind of a very standard timeline actually for the entire UC system. So pretty streamlined on that. And lastly, we are offering one-on-one appointments. So that's why I haven't gone too in depth with the requirements, because if we want to help you navigate that and not have you overwhelmed by having to figure out what applies to you and what doesn't. So if you actually take a screenshot of this, you'll see that the UC Davis contact link is there, and it's going to be specific to your community college. But like I said, if you have any questions, I can also provide my contact information, and I can help you navigate to figure out who your specific advisor is. But thank you for your time, and I hope you got some useful information.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew Espiritu. I am the transfer admission counselor at the University of San Diego. And I'll be talking about how you can find yourself on our campus. So first and foremost, we are the University of San Diego. We are a private liberal arts school located in central San Diego. We like to call ourselves the Goldilocks of schools, knowing that our undergraduate student population is just under 5,600 students. That has lots of implications on your student experience. Where I went to undergrad, I actually never really saw my roommates. You will cross paths with people that you know on a daily basis, whether they room with you, whether they are in classes with you, or for folks who are involved in clubs and organizations, you're going to see them as you walk around our campus. This also translates to your in-class experience. Our average class size at USD is 21 students. Our student to faculty ratio is 12:1. This really means that your professors are going to know who you are. You're not going to be a face in a sea of faces at USD. But you're also going to know your peers. In fact, group work is encouraged at USD throughout all of the course offerings that we have here. Again, we are a liberal arts school, so our general education requirement looks slightly different from, a lot of the state schools. However, we do offer majors across all disciplines. So we offer 41, or actually it's 42 majors now, a variety of pre-professional programs for students who are looking at pre-health careers, such as pre-med, pre-dental, pre-occupational therapy, and then also pre-law. You'll see some of our rankings down below. Yes, we have a School of Engineering at USD. We have 5 different majors within the School of Engineering. And then currently we're ranked 88th in the entire nation. We are the youngest private school to be ranked in the top 100. As far as supporting our transfer students, we do have transfer orientation for both the fall and spring. And I highlight fall and spring because we actually take students in during both terms. The folks that you see on the bottom of your screen, they are known as Transfer Scholastic Assistants. They essentially are your peer mentors during your first semester at USD. So for any transfer student who is coming to USD, they'll be assigned to one of these folks down here. And really, they're going to handhold you through the entire process. So whether you have questions about, appealing your financial aid, dropping a course, paying your bill, if you're trying to identify some resources or wanting to know the specific areas you can, heat up your lunch or maybe even take a shower on campus, they are your go-to people. You'll actually have their number, their personal cell phones on hand, and they'll actually be scheduling appointments throughout the semester to ensure that you are transitioning well. What is also pretty unique about how we support our incoming transfer students is this idea of transfer learning community. So essentially, every single new transfer student will be assigned to a transfer learning community. It is a class that helps with the academic and social transition to USD. And because we are a liberal arts school, there are certain, course requirements that we offer that are fairly unique. So if you're a student who has all of the general ed completed for, this school, or, have fulfilled the requirements for another school, just know that, again, there are unique areas within our general education requirement. And most likely, your transfer learning community class will fulfill a unique area within our program. As far as our admission requirements are concerned, we offer a flexible path towards admission. You can be eligible for admission with just 3.0 cumulative college GPA and 24 semester or 36 quarter units completed. For students who are thinking about transferring to USD with just the minimum completed, we do ask that you prioritize college level algebra and English composition and literature. One thing to kind of note is that none of our majors are impacted at USD. However, if you are going into business or any of the STEM areas, just know that, yes, there is quite a bit of prep work that you can consider to complete, but it is not necessary for you to complete all of them or any of them in order to declare that as a major. If you apply to USD and are accepted, you can declare any major that you like. The majority of our general education requirement or core curriculum aligns itself with Getty, but again, as I noted before, there are certain areas that don't. An example of that would be our theology and religious studies requirement. In order to connect with us and find out more information about USD, we do hold bi-monthly transfer information sessions, and I'm available to meet with students between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. every single Tuesday for Transfer Tuesdays. Our application deadlines are March 1st for the fall term. So if you're thinking about fall of 2022, that would be March 1st of 2022. For spring applicants, with the upcoming spring beginning January of 2022, that application deadline is right around the corner. We are a common application school, so everything is done via the Common App. Now, as far as tuition is concerned, please keep in mind that we are a private school, so our cost of attendance is slightly higher than what you might expect from state institutions, knowing that your state taxes do not subsidize the tuition cost. There are various ways to offset your educational costs at USD, and that 76% of our students receive financial assistance. Some of our more generous financial aid offerings are our transfer merit scholarships, which you are automatically considered for when applying to USD. So essentially, in order to be considered for that scholarship, you will need to have 24 units already completed at the time of applying and at least a 3.75 cumulative college GPA. So college GPA is what I'm highlighting. It is not taking into consideration of your high school GPA. University scholarships are also available. These come in the form of talent-based scholarships. So we have our athletic scholarships, our music scholarships, choral scholarships, NROTC scholarships, and departmental scholarships. Those departmental scholarships are assigned to specific schools. So essentially, you will not be considered for those as an incoming student, but during your time at USD, you can be considered for those. Last but not least, please submit the FAFSA in order to be considered for any institutional or need-based financial aid. That's the Cal Grant, Pell Grant, and any other free money that the institution can award you, in addition to loan options. Last but not least, if you would like to connect with me to schedule a one-on-one advising appointment, my email address is located here. However, if you would like to connect with me and view my calendar to see when I have next availability, you can always connect with me using the Calendly link that you see down below. And then I would always always encourage our students to explore our transfer specific admissions website, which is sandiego.edu/transfer admissions. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. So we do have a few questions. I know we're a little off time, but I'll go ahead and ask these questions. And also, one of our representatives is on the live stream, able to answer the questions, so you're welcome to do that as well. But I do have a couple questions for Pepperdine, Davis, and then University of San Diego. So the first couple questions for Pepperdine: do you have an online psychology program, even though we know that you're representing the business school? That question came in. And what majors specifically do you have for someone who's interested in business?
All right, so we do not offer an online psychology program. I'm so sorry. Our online program is specifically for the Bachelor of Science in Management. And then for our business majors, these are, it almost feels like two separate types of kind of thought process, but we do have a Bachelor's in Business Administration through Seaver College. That is our main Malibu campus. And so that actually does have a 5-year plan as well. So you would actually track into the Grazie-Dio Business School. I would say the business administration is more so for someone who does not have any work experience and is looking for a traditional style of campus living. So living in Malibu, not working, kind of being a full-time student. The Bachelor of Science in Management degree is specifically a business degree. And this is for someone who has a working experience. You are not required to work while you're in the program. We do have internships and obviously graduate level counseling as well. So you have a lot of opportunities for a lot of companies if you're looking to really start your career and blossom. Most of my students have either a promotion or a new career change within the first 3 to 6 months of starting the program, just because they can offer, a full-time schedule. They can offer that 9 to 5 availability, knowing that they have classes that start usually at 6 o'clock. And so that's either for our fully online program or our West LA campus. I hope that answered sorry, that was a very long-winded answer, but I hope that answered your question.
Thank you so much. Okay, we have 3 questions for UC Davis. Can students tag with the major psychology, or is that excluded on tag? What was the number of transfer students in fall 19 and fall 20? And again, what majors do you have for someone interested in business?
Right, so our tag is open to all of our majors, including psychology, with the exception of computer science. So if you're hoping to do computer science, we do offer it, but it's not available for the guaranteed program. Our second question in regards to, and I just skipped over the second question, I went to the third question in my head. But we have our managerial economics major, which is what most of our students hoping to do something more business, applied business are going to go into. And then of course we have our more broad economics major as well. We have a few other majors are more specific depending on what you want to do, that have some business factors and elements into it, but those are the 2 most common ones. And then Lorena, if you could just repeat the second one for me.
Yeah, no problem. The second question was, how many transfer students did you, well, I don't think they were asking how many you admitted, but how many attended in fall 19 and fall 20?
Okay, yeah. So we have about like 16,000 transfer students apply, and then we usually admit about 7,000 on average. In terms of students who end up coming, it's between like 3,000 and 4,000 transfer students. If you do a tag program, we have like a 85% admit rate from our transfer program, or the tag program. So if you do that, you're more than likely going to keep that guarantee all the way in through official admission decisions. I don't actually know the numbers off the top of my head for regular admissions, but it's usually around I think a 50-ish% average across the most recent years.
Okay, thank you. And then we just have one final question for University of San Diego. The question again is, what are the majors you have for someone who's interested in business?
So currently we have 9 majors offered within the School of Business, ranging from accountancy all the way down to real estate. Our most recent offering that has just been offered for this new academic year is data analytics. So regardless of what area of business you're wanting to pursue, most likely we can support that. And then we also have a dual degree program that allows you to get your bachelor's and your master's internationally, actually. So it's fairly unique in that way. And I can share a link to that, as well as all of our 9 individualized business offerings.
Okay, thank you very much. If you do, Andrew, want to put that in the Zoom chat, I'll try to transfer it over to the live stream. Unless you have access to the live stream, you can place it there as well. All right, so thank you. We're trying to keep on time here, so we're going to go ahead and start again from the top. And what I'm going to do this time is record it on Zoom so that we have a recording of just one session, start to end, at least one recording. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to hit record, and then we're going to begin. Okay, so thank you for attending this session. It will include presentations from La Sierra University, Pepperdine Graciadio Business School, UC Davis, and University of San Diego.
All right, well, good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I'm an admissions counselor for La Sierra University. I'm also here today with my colleagues, Santiago and Samantha, who can help answer any questions that you have. Today, we're just very quickly going to review some basic information about transferring to La Sierra. And if anyone does have any questions after today's presentation, all of my contact information will be listed at the end. So feel free to screenshot it or write it down so that you can follow up with me at any time. So here are some quick facts about La Sierra. We are located in Riverside. We are a small private Christian university, but we do accept students from all faith backgrounds. We have around 2,000 students in total at La Sierra, and for undergraduates, we offer around 60 majors, and our average class size is around 20 students. All of our undergrad students have both a faculty and an academic advisor that work with you throughout your program, just to ensure that you're getting the classes that you need for your degree program. And then for those of you specifically interested in going into healthcare, we do have a dedicated pre-health advisor on our campus. And we do also have a close relationship with Loma Linda University, and their recruiters help to advise our pre-health students. So La Sierra is a great choice for anyone considering going into a healthcare program at any institution, and in particular Loma Linda University. Here is a list of some of the resources that we have available for our students. I'm not going to go into these today, but if you do have any questions about any of these resources, please don't hesitate to contact me. So probably the most important question that I get is, how do you apply? Our application process for La Sierra is quick and easy. The first step is to complete the free online application. Just go to lasierra.edu/apply. It'll take you directly to the application, and you can apply for any of our 3 start dates at any time, which are fall, winter, and spring. The second step is to submit the application requirements, which I'll go over a little bit more on the next slide. And then lastly, once everything has been turned in, then your application is reviewed for acceptance and evaluated for transfer units. So here's a list of our requirements. You must have completed at least 8 semester or 12 quarter units with a 2.0 GPA to be considered for admissions. We also require that you submit your high school transcripts and your college transcripts, but there are some exceptions for the high school transcript. Let's say if you have an associate's degree or a certain number of units completed, then we don't require the high school transcript. And then we also don't require the high school transcript for our incoming ADT students, but there is an additional form on our website that our ADT students are required to submit. And then I just also want to point out for our transfer students that we don't require test scores or letters of recommendation or any sort of personal or writing sample. All we need for transfer students is the application and the transcripts. For our ADT students, we accept 20 ADTs, and you can find the full list of the ADTs that we accept on our website. As an ADT student, you enter last year as a junior, and you only need to take the core classes for your major. If you're coming into a four-year program, a similar four-year degree that you earned your ADT in, you can finish your program at last year in 2 years. And if anyone is interested in learning more about our ADT programs, you can always check out this link on our website or reach out to me and I can connect you with our ADT advisor. So just briefly going to touch on tuition and financial aid. For those interested in learning more about our tuition and financial aid, please don't hesitate to contact me and I can provide you with more detail and also do a financial estimate for you. Keep in mind that these are the costs before any scholarships or financial aid is applied. So these costs that are quoted here will go down significantly once we do an estimate for you and we consider your financial aid and scholarships. So for most of our transfer students that choose to live off campus, the total cost, tuition and fees is just over $34,000 for the year. And for those that want to live on campus in one of our dorms, the total tuition and fees, including room and board, is around $43,000 per year. Around 95% of our undergrad students qualify for financial assistance while at La Sierra. We offer various types of financial aid available to our students, including university scholarships, which offer need-based and merit-based scholarships. We offer we accept any external scholarships that you have, any federal or state financial aid we can accept. And then if anyone qualifies for education benefits with the VA, we accept 7 education chapters, including the Yellow Ribbon program. And we do have a veterans website that lists all of the chapters that we accept, and it provides you with information on how you can receive those benefits. We have recently launched a brand new information hub for our transfer students. This new webpage does contain all of the information for our incoming transfer students, so definitely check that out if you're interested in transferring to La Sierra. It does have information about the application requirements, the veterans resources, ADT information, so just go to lasierra.edu/transfer to check out that information. And so that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions, you can always check out our website, which is lasierra.edu. All of my contact information is listed here, so you can always schedule an appointment with me. You can always call me or text me or email me with any questions that you have. Thank you.
All right, I'll go ahead and jump in. Hi, everyone. My name is Tiffany Marmolejo. I'm a recruitment advisor for the Pepperdine Grad Studio Business School. And fun fact, I am also currently pursuing my MBA at Pepperdine. So thank you all for joining us. A little bit about Pepperdine. Pepperdine is a 4-year private college. We are a Christian-based university, but you do not need to be Christian to come to our school. You can see here our beautiful Malibu campus. We are located in the heart of Malibu and always get voted most beautiful campus, as you can see. Our top 5 most popular majors at Pepperdine are business administration, psychology, biology, economics, and sports medicine. However, today I'll be talking to you about the Bachelor of Science in Management program. So for those of you who are interested in things other than business, I'll go ahead and pause on this screen for a moment. I do recommend that you reach out to my colleague over at Seaver College. That is our traditional campus for transfer students. You can reach out to Michael and he'll be happy to answer all of your questions. They'll have different transfer requirements and different articulation agreements with your community colleges. But we'll go ahead and jump into the Pepperdine Grazie Business School Bachelor of Science in Management program. So Pepperdine Grazie is actually a graduate level business school. So we do offer one undergraduate program where you'll have access to PhD and MBA professors and faculty. So it's a great way for students who are looking for that long-term path. It's a great way to get a jump start and to really feel prepared. Now, our Bachelor of Science in Management degree, you are guaranteed to graduate in 2 years. That's really important for some students. Sometimes transfer students are pushing 3 or 4 years after. So we want to make sure that you take advantage of that as long as you maintain your academic excellence. What'll happen is you will have your 60 units of transfer credit that's required to come in. And then you'll complete 60 units worth of transfer credit with us as well, which means you will graduate with your 120 units in total. We are on a 15-week trimester system, so much different than the quarter system. I actually did my undergraduate degree on a quarter system, so it's really fast-paced. So please make sure that you look into that when you're looking at your schools, just to decide what's best for your learning style. I think for me, the 15 weeks gives me a little bit extra room to study and make sure I don't feel so compressed. This program in particular is accessible to working professionals. So we do have evening classes that are specific to this program only. And then this includes 3 Saturdays over your trimester. So if you're looking to work that 9 to 5 or get into an industry job, this is definitely the program for you, so you can feel successful in the workplace and in the classroom. Last but not least, this program is offered fully online. That is with the caveat that they are live classes. So right now, my professor in business law and we have 13 people in our classroom. So my professor actually knows my name. He actually knows what I do for a living, and we get to actually interact on a one-on-one basis and hold discussions. So that's what I really appreciate about our online program right now. In addition, for those of you who are not a fan of the online space that we've been living in, we do offer this program as well in the West LA campus, which is conveniently located pretty close to LAX. Now, to make this deal a little bit sweeter, I did mention we are a graduate level school. What happens for our students coming into this program is they actually use their bachelor's degree to waive out up to 1 year of their master's degree. So yes, we have you on a fast track. So students who complete this program can either waive out 1 year if they graduate with a 3.4 GPA. Now, if they graduate with a 3.7 GPA, you will get a 50% tuition discount on your MBA. And if you graduate with a 3.9 GPA, we will gift you a free MBA. So if MBA is your long-term goal, this is definitely the program for you. It will get you prepared. It will really motivate you and help you look at business in a different lens. Now, transfer requirements. You'll notice from all my colleagues today, all of our transfer requirements are very different. Specifically for private schools, all of ours are different. I actually work with my students one-on-one to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable, and we set up a path. So we'll go through all of your course books and we'll look up what are the best classes for you to take and what works best with your schedule. So it's just some highlights of the transfer requirements. We do not require business calculus. You're welcome for my business students. I know that's a huge perk for a lot of them. In addition, we do not require a lab for natural science. And then electives can be pretty much anything under the sun. So for my military students who have joint services transcripts, some of them come in with 30 units already completed and they haven't even taken a class yet. So reach out if you have questions. I'm happy to provide a transcript evaluation and give you my honest opinion on what transfer would look like for you. In addition, we do have our transfer admission guarantee. I highly recommend this for students who are a little nervous. I know Pepperdine can seem like a dream school or a reach school, and we can definitely make that a reality for you. So what we're looking for our transfer admission guarantee is a 2.8 GPA. at least 60 units of incoming coursework. So yes, I'll let you know when you're ready to apply, and 2 years of paid work experience. Work experience can mean you are a Starbucks barista. It can mean that you have a family business. It can mean that you have you're a CEO of a company, and kind of everything in between. So if you're looking to work or even just looking into this program to find it as a long-term MBA path, I definitely can help you find that way. Next, we're going to talk about scholarships really quickly. I think my biggest advice, whether you're a business major or any major, all the schools you're looking at, you're going to see a sticker price and it's going to seem really scary. The sticker price is hardly ever the actual price. So whether you're looking into UCs, CSU, private schools, that sticker price rarely remains the same. And that's because most of our institutions offer institutional merit scholarships. So these are going to be based on your incoming GPA, and for Pepperdine as well, your work experience. So those will vary. For Pepperdine, will cover up to 57% of your tuition coming into the program, which is why I said don't look at the sticker price. Definitely take a look at what type of scholarships you have coming in. In addition to that, any other types of scholarships like Pell Grant or Cal Grant that you have coming in will add on to that. For our veterans, any GI Bill or 9/11 benefits will also qualify on top of that as well. So just keep that in mind as you're looking at schools. I know it can seem a little bit scary, but you just have to ask the right questions. I'm going to go ahead and leave my information up for a moment. I work with my students one-on-one to help them with the application process and the transfer process, and really just decide what's the best path for you. Make sure we're maximizing your scholarships and make sure that you feel confident with your plan, because it's your plan and it's personal to you. Last but not least, just another thing to think about as you're transferring. My institution in particular has 3 different times of year that you can transfer in. So again, asking the questions is good. We do have our incoming spring 2022 class. So we have our priority deadline on October 1st, and that is to start in January. So to see if you're eligible, feel free to reach out. In addition, we have our summer 2022, which starts at the end of April. And we also have our fall semester as well. So I look forward to being a resource for all of you, and I wish you the best of luck with your transfer journey. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leticia Garay, and I'm representing UC Davis today. I'm also a UC Davis alumna, so feel free to drop in any student life questions you may have about, throughout the presentation. But to give you an overview of where we're located, so we are located in Northern California, and we're the most northern UC campus within the system of 9. And so a lot of our students like that location because we are about 20 minutes from the state capitol, and that's very helpful if you are looking into politics or policy, because we have one-on-one relationships with elected officials. If you want to do something else like pre-med, we have our medical school in Sacramento as well, which means that you can actually do undergraduate research and internships with medical professionals 20 minutes away from campus. Outside of the academics, we have we're about 2 hours away from Lake Tahoe, about 3 hours from Yosemite. So our students do like to take advantage of that and plan weekend trips to camp, hike, or even whitewater raft at these 2 locations, spend the weekend there and still come back in time for Monday morning classes. So really good opportunity to build some relationship with students outside of our college town campus, which means that 50% of our population is actually made up of students. So everything revolves around student life when you're on campus. So if you're trying to get something else, you have a few different locations that you can go visit as well. So a little bit about us, you'll see some of our rankings here, and as a quick history lesson, we actually started off as the University Research Farm for UC Berkeley before we became our own campus. And so you'll see that some of our highest rankings are in regards to the agricultural, environmental sciences, and veterinary sciences. However, you'll see in the next slide that we have quite a bit of different majors, and that some of our most popular majors are actually outside of these areas. But if you are particularly interested in that, you're going to a top-notch school that really focuses on these areas and hands-on experiences. Something that is applicable to all of our students is the fact that we are the 5th best public university in the nation. So you are getting a really good return on investment. We make sure that our students are ready for graduate school or career goals after graduation. So we have a lot of resources and services to help students take that next step. We actually have about 80% of our students who are pre-med get admitted into their first or second choice for medical school, just to show you how our students are doing for that postgraduate life. But like I did mention, we have quite a bit of majors. So we have over 100 different majors and almost as many minors. And you'll see that some of our most popular majors are listed here. Our managerial economics, which is in that second place, is actually our undergraduate program for students who are interested in business. We have our majors broken up into 4 different colleges. For our transfer students, majors are going to be very important because they will determine what major preparation and additional admission requirements they'll have to complete in order to transfer over to our campus in a specific major. And we know that everything's a bit hard to navigate. There are a lot of requirements, especially if you are applying broadly. And so because of that, we have our transfer admission planner, which is essentially an online planner that is accessible for any UC campus advisor. So whether you're interested in applying to just Davis or one of our sister campuses like Berkeley or Riverside or Merced, for example, creating this planner will allow you to have that one-on-one interaction and get the most accurate advising for any of our campuses pertaining to the specific major that you're interested in. And we also have a transfer admission guarantee. This is a different way of admissions for 6 out of the 9 UC campuses that offer it. And it is submitted through the month of September. So if you are hoping to apply for fall of 2022, you would have to submit your tag by the end of this month. Of course, these requirements are going to be different across UC campuses that offer it, and they will be major dependent. So please make sure you are creating that planner so that you can reach out to us and we can help you navigate to see where you stand for the tag requirements. Very quickly over our financial aid. So you'll see some statistics here about how much financial aid we offer for our students. The primary form of financial aid for our students is through the FAFSA or the California Dream Act. So most of our need-based scholarships, which are the biggest amount of financial aid that we offer, will be gathered through those 2 applications. So it's very important to file those on time. You'll see that the Blue and Gold Opportunity Program, which is one of our more popular ones for our students in the undergraduate path, will actually cover the entire tuition for the 2 to 3 years that our students are there as transfer students. And of course, we have different brackets for different incomes. But if you have more information, feel free to, or have more questions, feel free to visit our website, or you can go ahead and reach out to us and we can give you some more information about different financial aid packages. Also, fun fact, the UC application does double up as a scholarship application to each application you are applying to. So you don't have to submit additional scholarship applications to specific UC campuses. And lastly, we are going through the UC application timeline. So this is pretty much a universal timeline for the entire system. You can create your UC application, which is one online application for all 9 campuses. So whether you're applying to just one campus or all 9, this one application, and it is self-reported. So we are not requiring transcripts, unofficial or official, and we are not requiring any letters of recommendation. The application will mostly be academic information as well as 4 personal insight questions or 4 essay prompts that are shorter. If you are interested in the tag, I did mention this earlier, but it is due in the month of September. So we have about 9 more days before it's due if you are applying for the upcoming year. And then all students, regardless of if they're applying for tag or not tag, are required to submit a UC application by November 30th. You'll hear from all our UC campuses in the month of April. So some of us are a little bit earlier than others, but that is the month to start paying attention to emails in regards to official admission decisions. And then if you are focusing on the UC system, you'll have until June 1st to decide which campus you'd like to attend, regardless of which campuses you applied for the system. And lastly, we are offering one-on-one advising for our community college students. So I highly encourage you visit our tag.ucdavis.edu website that is listed there so that you can get in contact with your advisor who will work with you throughout the admissions process. But thank you for your time, and hopefully this information was useful.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew Spiritu. I'm the admissions counselor here at the University of San Diego, talking about the unique opportunities that we offer here in the 8th largest city in the United States. So here is a screenshot, a little snippet of our student community at USD. We are considered a mid-sized institution with just under 5,600 undergraduate students. It really has a lot of implications on what your student experience is going to be like here. Believe it or not, this makes us a mid-sized institution. I consider it small, knowing that I went to a school of over 30,000 students in California. But as far as undergraduate students and how that impacts your day-to-day, you're going to see people that you know around campus, whether they be your roommates, your classmates, or just folks that you are in clubs and organizations with. Now, as far as what we offer academically, please keep in mind that we are a private liberal arts school. So our general education requirement, otherwise known as our core curriculum, overlaps with pretty much every single other school, right? So we offer, you'll have to complete an English course, a math course, science with a lab, history, things of that nature. What makes us unique because of our private liberal arts distinction is that, and our Catholic designation, is that you do have to take, 2 courses in theology and religious studies. You'll also have to take 3 semesters of foreign language at the college level. And then there is a standalone literature requirement. So again, there are unique features of our general education requirement. They can also be completed at a community college. So if you are curious about how you can further align yourself with USD, you're more than welcome to connect with me. Currently, we offer actually 42 majors with options to elect into pre-professional programs. So these pre-professional programs, the majority of which are pre-health areas like pre-med, pre-occupational therapy, pre-dental, pre-physician assistant programs. And then we also have one that's actually outside of that, of the health spectrum, and that's pre-law. As mentioned already, the USD experience is, we really pride ourselves in being a small, tight-knit, inclusive campus community. And that actually also translates to what you're going to experience inside the classroom. All of our courses are taught by professors themselves. You'll never, be taught by a graduate student who's pursuing a PhD. You'll always have that expert in the room. Our average class size is 21 students. And then actually, once you get up to your upper division courses for a lot of our majors, that number gets below 21. So again, you'll have this small, intimate environment, which really, is helpful in a lot of ways, especially as a transfer student, transitioning to typically, a more rigorous school, right? And that you are going to face, these academic challenges wherever you decide to go to. And at USD, you're going to have that professor who's going to be invested in your success to help you out. As far as how we support transfer students specifically, we do offer transfer orientation. It is mandatory, and it is held during the weekend before the school starts. So it's a 2 to 3 day event where you're going to be acquainted with all the resources available to you, as well as the processes that you'll need to take on in order to transition successfully. We also have what is called a transfer learning community. This allows you to transition to USD both from an academic and social standpoint. So our faculty who teach these transfer learning community courses have the needs of transfer students coming from community colleges and other four-year schools in mind. But then you also have this secondary layer of, I guess, advising, and that's going to come in the form of peer mentorships. These are the folks that you see on the second picture. Those students are typically made up of former transfer students, right? So they, at one point in time, were in your shoes, and they're really wanting to give back and really shape the transfer student experience at USD. As far as applying, we do accept applications both for fall and the spring. We are a common application school, so everything is done through the common application, which is online. We do have a fall and spring intake. Please keep in mind that our application deadline is a little bit later than a lot of other schools, in that if you're thinking about fall of 2022, that application deadline is not due until March 1st of next year. If you're looking at spring admission, which begins in January, typically the last Monday, that application deadline is October 1st. In order to be considered for admission, we do ask for the minimum of a 3.0 cumulative college GPA and 24 semester or 36 quarter units. For students who are coming in with just that minimum or hoping to reach that minimum in order to be considered for admission, we do ask that you prioritize college level algebra and English composition and literature. We do not admit by major at USD, since none of our majors are impacted. So if you are admitted to USD, you can declare any major that you like. However, to really diversify your options, especially for students who are thinking about applying to schools where there are impacted majors, please definitely consider taking the prep work for those programs, namely business and the STEM areas. And for the most part, they're pretty universal. Our core curriculum, otherwise known as our general education requirement, also aligns with IGETC. So a lot of these requirements that you would take to satisfy the admission requirements for the state schools can also be applied to USD. Again, there are unique areas within our general education requirement, and I can always help work with you one-on-one to get those completed as well. Our transfer information sessions are they typically go through the entire admissions process for USD. They take place twice a month, and then Transfer Tuesdays are appointment days that you can meet with me between 9 and 6 p.m. every single Tuesday throughout the year. As far as our cost of attendance is concerned, our tuition is fixed at $52,120 per year. As mentioned earlier, that is not necessarily the price that you're going to pay, and that 76% of our students receive financial assistance of some kind. There are transfer merit scholarships available at USD. In order to be considered for those, you do have to complete at least 24 semester units at the time of applying and have at least a 3.75 GPA. There are also other university scholarships that you can be considered for, such as our NCAA Division I athletic scholarships, our music scholarships, choral scholarships, as well as our NROTC scholarships. There's also departmental scholarships. So if you're a business major, there may be some opportunities for you to apply for those scholarships. But please keep in mind that this is not something that you can apply for as an incoming student. It's more so an opportunity that will become available to you as you continue your studies at USD. Need-based financial aid, please submit the FAFSA, regardless of what you think your financial health is as far as meeting the cost of need at USD. This will put you into automatic consideration for any free money at USD that we can offer you, institutional aid, Cal grants, Pell grants, and unique scholarships to students who demonstrate need. Please feel free to connect with me at any time. I'm always available via email, but you can also schedule a one-on-one appointment with me by visiting my Calendly link. And then I always advise students to check out our transfer admissions website. It may answer a lot of the surface level questions that you might have, but then again, if you do have specific questions or even those surface level questions, I can always be reached via email. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all of your presentations. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now. All right, and then we just have one question I think was left over from the previous session. It's for University of San Diego. And the question was, what is the transfer percent rate?
Can you repeat that? I don't think I caught the entire question.
Yeah, I'll read it directly as it was written. It says, what is the transfer percent rate to the University of San Diego?
Okay, so I'm guessing that's the acceptance rate as to what they're asking. So our admission rate historically, looking at the past 6 admission terms, has been over 50%. So it's usually anywhere between 54 and 56% for fall, and then anywhere between 52 and 54% for the spring.
Thank you. So those are all the questions that we received for this time around. So what I think I will do is give us a quick little break and we'll start again at noon. And in the meantime, I'll just put up a commercial type of screen and we'll start again right at noon. Thank you all. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started again with our presentations. I will record this session again, so I'll get that started in just a second here. And I believe if everyone tries as much as possible to stick to the 5-ish minute time limit, we'll be able to do this session at noon and at 12:30. So hopefully we'll be able to fit in 2 more rounds. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me record. All right, thank you everyone for attending the Region 9 Virtual University Transfer Fair. In this session, you will be hearing from La Sierra University, Pepperdine Graziadio Business School, UC Davis, and University of San Diego.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Sarah Spencer and I'm an admissions counselor for La Sierra University. I'm also here today with my colleagues Samantha and Santiago, who can help answer any questions that you have. Today, we're just going to very quickly review some basic information about transferring to La Sierra. And if anyone does have any questions after today's presentation, all of my contact information will be listed at the end. So please feel free to write it down or screenshot any contact information so that you can follow up with me with any additional questions. Here are some quick facts about La Sierra. We are located in Riverside. We are a small private Christian university, but we do accept students from all faith backgrounds. We have around 2,000 students at La Sierra, and for our undergraduate students, we offer around 60 majors, and our average class size is about 20 students. For all of our undergrad students, you will have both a faculty and an academic advisor that work with you throughout your program to ensure that you're getting the classes that you need for your degree program. And then for those of you interested in going into healthcare, we do also have a dedicated pre-health advisor on our campus, and we do also have a close relationship with Loma Linda University, and their recruiters help to advise our pre-health students. So La Sierra is a great choice for any one of you that might be considering going into a healthcare program at any institution, but in particular Loma Linda University. Here's a list of some resources that are available to our students. Because of time, I'm not going to go into these today, but if you do have any specific questions about any of the resources that we offer, please feel free to follow up with me. So how do you apply to La Sierra? This is probably the question that I get the most frequently. Our application process is quick and easy. The first step is to complete the free online application, which you can find on our website at lasierra.edu/apply. And we don't have any application deadlines, so you can apply for any of our 3 start dates, which are fall, winter, and spring at any time. The second step is to submit the application requirements, which I'll go over a little bit more on the next slide. And then lastly, once everything has been turned in, your application is reviewed for acceptance and then evaluated for transfer units. So here's a list of our requirements. You must have completed at least 8 semester or 12 quarter units with a 2.0 GPA. We also require that you submit official high school and college transcripts, but there are some exceptions for the high school transcript. For our incoming ADT students, this is one of the exceptions for the high school transcript. We don't require high school transcripts for ADT students, but there is an additional form on our website that you're required to complete in addition to the application. And then please note that for all of our transfer students, we don't require any test scores or letters of recommendation or any sort of like writing sample or personal statement. All we do require is that you submit the application and your transcripts. So for our ADT students, we do accept 20 ADTs, and you can find the full list on our website of the ADTs that we accept. As an ADT student, you enter La Sierra as a junior, and you only need to take the core classes for your major. And then if you're enrolling in a similar degree program, you can finish that bachelor's program in 2 years at La Sierra. And if anyone is interested in learning more about our ADT programs, you can always check out our website. The link is listed here on the slide, or you can reach out to me and I can connect you with our ADT advisor. So just briefly going to touch on financial aid and tuition. If you are interested in getting more specific information about our financial aid and tuition, please feel free to reach out to me and I can always provide you with more detail or even do a financial estimate for you. I do want to keep in mind that this is the total cost before any scholarships or financial aid is applied. So these costs will go down significantly once we take all of your scholarships and financial aid into consideration. Most of our transfer students live off campus and they do commute to class. So the total tuition and fees for those students is just over $34,000 for the year. And then for those that want to live on campus, the total tuition and fees, also including room and board, is around $43,000 for the year. About 95% of our undergraduate students do qualify for financial assistance at loss year. So again, those tuition rates that I posted on the previous slide will go down for virtually all of our students. We do offer various types of financial aid to our students, including university scholarships, which offer need-based and merit-based scholarships. We do accept the federal and the state financial aid. Any external scholarships that you've received, we can accept all of those. And then if anyone qualifies for education benefits with the VA, we do accept 7 education chapters, including the Yellow Ribbon program. And on our website, you can find a full list of all the chapters that we accept and how you can sign up to receive those benefits with La Sierra. We have recently launched a brand new information hub for our transfer students. Our transfer webpage contains all of the relevant information for our incoming transfer students, including financial aid resources, ADT information, the veterans resources are all listed on there. So if you are interested in transferring to La Sierra, then I highly recommend that you check out this website just to get more information. And that website is going to be lasierra.edu/transfer. So then lastly, if you do have any questions, please feel free to check out our website. That's going to be lasierra.edu. You can always also go to our transfer website, which is just lasierra.edu/transfer. And then if you do want to connect with me directly, here's all of my contact information. You can text me, you can call me, or you can email me at any time. And then you can also schedule an appointment with me using my Calendly link that's listed there as well. So thank you.
Hi, everyone. So sorry, give me one moment. I thought I had my slide up and I didn't. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Tiffany Marmolejo. I am a recruitment advisor for the Bachelor of Science in Management program at Pepperdine Grazie Dio Business School. And I'm also currently pursuing my MBA at Pepperdine. So yes, I work here full time and I am a student just like you guys. Where is Pepperdine? So we are located in sunny Malibu, California. We always get voted most beautiful campus, as you can see by the photo here. Our main campus is called Seaver College. That's where this campus is located, where our students actually live, believe it or not. Our 5 most popular majors here are business administration, psychology, biology, economics, and sports medicine. Today, I'm coming to you from the graduate level business school, which is why I say Pepperdine Grazie Dio rather than Seaver College. If you're interested in any of the majors other than the Bachelor of Science in Management program, I'll leave this slide up for a moment. Feel free to take a screenshot and you can get the contact information from my colleague Michael, who will be happy to talk to you about their specific transfer requirements, as well as what living on campus looks like. Without further ado, I will jump into the Bachelor of Science in Management. So this program in particular is specifically for transfer students. Once you transfer from your specific college, you will take 2 years to complete your bachelor program. That's exciting because sometimes you won't be able to get classes at every other school. So that's one of the perks to coming to a private school, is being able to complete your degree in 2 years. Now you'll have your 60 units of transfer credit that will come in paired with the 60 units you take with us, which will make up the 120 units to complete your bachelor's degree. For the BSM program, we do have 15-week-long trimesters. This will vary from other schools that are on the quarter system. I recommend looking into that to decide what best fits your learning style. So I love the trimester system, just gives me a little bit more time to take in the information that I'm learning. For this program in particular, it is accessible to working professionals with evening classes and 3 Saturdays over the trimester. So if you're looking for a program where you can work your 9 to 5 and still excel in the classroom and in the workplace, this is definitely the program for you. It is offered fully online. So for those of you who have really thrived in this online space, we offer synchronous classes. So your professor will be online with you. Right now I'm taking business law and there are 13 people in my class. So my professor knows my name, he knows what I want to do, and he's incredibly supportive. If the online is definitely not your vibe, we have the West LA campus for you as well, which is conveniently located near LAX. Why most of my students choose this program in particular is we do have the option to complete your MBA in as little as 1 year post-graduation. So in your undergraduate degree, you have access to graduate level professors, including master's and doctoral professors, teaching you the basics and the fundamentals of business, which is great. What happens is when you graduate from the program, you can actually waive out up to 1 year of your MBA. Meaning that you can complete your bachelor's and your master's within 3 years of transferring from your community college. In addition to that, we have some added bonuses. If you graduate with a 3.7 GPA, you'll get a 50% tuition discount on that 1 year MBA. And if you graduate with a 3.9 GPA, you will receive a free MBA, which is absolutely unheard of and is a really great benefit for those of you who are really academically excellent. In addition to that, I will share our transfer requirements. Like I mentioned, this will be different for every school that you're looking into, so I do recommend that you reach out. As a high-level perk for some of our students, you'll notice for math, we do not require business calculus. I think that's one of my favorites. My students' favorite thing about the program is they don't have to take that dreaded calculus course. In addition to that, there is no lab required for natural science, and you can reach out to me and I'm more than happy to make a plan with you, go through all of the courses that are offered at your school and pick out the ones that will best suit your academic plan and your academic success. We also have a transfer admission guarantee program. So if you have a 2.8 cumulative GPA, 60 units of incoming coursework, and 2 years of paid work experience, you can be guaranteed admission to our Bachelor of Science in Management program. This is the only program at Pepperdine that offers the tag. Paid work experience can be anything from a Starbucks barista to a CEO to you're helping with your family's business. So if you have questions on the qualifications, please feel free to reach out. I'll share my contact information in a moment. And regardless of the school that you're looking at, I always tell my students, think about the difference between the sticker price and the actual price that you're going to pay. I tell students a lot of times they get scared with private school sticker prices, and sometimes they can be comparable to UCs or CSUs. So definitely reach out. For us in particular, we have what's called Institutional Merit Scholarship. This will be based on your incoming GPA as well as your numbers of years of work experience. That will differ for every institution, but also keep in mind that your Pell Grant and your Cal Grants will be able to be included in that big bucket. So that's why I say the sticker price rarely is ever the end price for all of our students. I'm going to go ahead and leave my information up for a moment. Like I mentioned, I work with my students one-on-one to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable with the plan. You'll have an actual face in person to talk to, which is always much needed, especially in this virtual world. And then last but not least, we are still accepting applications for this spring semester. One thing to ask your college representatives as you're looking into schools is how many times a year you can apply. So for us, we have spring, we have summer, and we have fall start dates. Our next available start date is for our spring semester with our priority deadline of October 1st and classes to start on January 4th. So I look forward to connecting with everyone and good luck with your transfer. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leticia Garay, and I'm representing UC Davis as an advisor for transfer students. I'm also a UC Davis alumna, so feel free to ask your student life questions in the chat as we go throughout the presentation. So a little bit about our campus. We are located in Northern California, and we're actually the most northern UC campus out of a system of 9 campuses. We're about 20 minutes away from the state capitol. And so if you're looking to study policy or go into politics, we do have actual personal relationships with elected officials in the state capitol. If you're doing something else like pre-med, for example, we have our medical school in Sacramento as well. We will even drop you off at that campus for free, but you can work with medical professionals even as an undergraduate student looking to get some internship experience for grad school applications. Our location, we like to say we're centrally located as well. A lot of our students like to go plan weekend trips with a group of friends to Lake Tahoe or Yosemite, whether it's for backpacking, camping, or even whitewater rafting, and still being able to come back to campus for Monday morning classes. We are a college town, so 50% of the city is actually made up of students. So everything in the actual city of Davis, it revolves around student life. So even though we are a larger university, going around 30,000 undergraduate students, it has a very small college town feel. So you actually see a lot of familiar faces. You get to really build relationships on a more one-on-one level and not always get lost in class. Outside of that, as a quick history lesson, we were UC Berkeley's university research farm back in the day before we became our own UC campus. And so that's why you'll see that we have some of the highest rankings in the agricultural, environmental sciences, and even veterinary sciences as well. But if you're not interested in one of those areas, we are 5th best public university in the nation, meaning that you will be getting a good return on investment and you will be prepared for your next step after graduation, whether it's going to graduate school or getting a career right after. As an example, about 80% of our pre-med students are admitted into their top first or second medical school of choice. So we have a lot of resources to help you before you graduate so that you're ready to go into whatever it is that you're hoping to do afterwards. So we have over 100 different majors and almost as many minors, and you'll see our top 5 majors listed on the right-hand side. Our managerial economics major is essentially our fancy way of saying our business type of major on campus. So if you're interested in business, that's the major to go to. And then we divide our colleges or our majors by colleges, meaning that this will change your transfer admission requirements. So make sure that you are paying attention to the major that you are hoping to apply for, because that then major preparation may be something that we consider when you submit your application. But in order to help you navigate all the requirements, even across the UC system, so even outside of UC Davis, we do have the Transfer Admission Planner, so the TAP or the TAP. Creating this online planner allows any UC campus to have access to your academic records and be able to advise you accordingly, depending on what it is that you're hoping to do. So you don't have to navigate this alone. And then for our students, we also have a transfer admission guarantee. That is a program that is available to, for 6 out of the 9 UC campuses in a lot of different majors. For UC Davis specifically, we are open to all majors in the guarantee program with the exception of computer science. So if you're hoping to do computer science, you would have to apply through our general admissions process. Touching on financial aid, so you'll see some statistics about our students and debt and financial aid on campus, but most of our financial aid does come from the FAFSA or the California DREAM Act, depending on which one's applicable to you. And our Blue and Gold Opportunity Program is actually one of our most popular tuition programs for our students. It covers your full tuition, so that $14,000 that you see there for the 2 or 3 years that you're on campus. So it's a great way to really reduce your cost of living or your cost of attendance. I mean, I actually applied for that when I was a student through the FAFSA, and I only took out $5,000 in loans for each year that I was there. So it really, really reduces what you have to pay out of pocket, essentially. But we can talk more about financial aid if you want in a one-on-one advising. I do want to start wrapping it up by giving you a timeline of our admission process. And so the UC system runs on the same timeline, essentially, with the UC application being open to all 9 UC campuses. And that is available for you to start working on as early as August with a submission date of November 30th. If you're interested in tags, so that's actually due by the end of September. If you're looking to apply for fall of 2022, you have about 9 more days to submit that tag application. So make sure you are reaching out if you have additional questions. And then every transfer applicant is required to submit a UC application by November 30th. You'll hear back from all of us sometime in April, so don't panic if you hear from one of us earlier over the other. The whole month we'll be kind of wrapping it up. And then for the entire system, you have until June 1st to pick which UC campus you prefer to attend if you have narrowed it down to a UC campus. So I mentioned advising and kind of helping you navigate the process. So if you go to our tag.ucdavis.edu website there on the slide, that will actually give you a direct contact information and advisor who will be able to have a one-on-one appointment with you to help you navigate whether it's tag or general admissions or even questions about campus life. So feel free to reach out to us sometime soon, hopefully. But with that, thank you for your time, and hopefully you found this information valuable.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to my presentation on the University of San Diego. My name is Andrew Alstramia Spiritu. I'm the transfer admission counselor here. As far as what our campus community looks like, this is a picture of the diocese-run church on campus facing westward. So as you can see, there are bodies of water in the horizon there. We are a private liberal arts, independently run Catholic school on campus, which definitely makes us a little bit different as far as what you can expect as far as academics and social life is concerned. And I'll talk about some of those areas in just a bit. But as far as our student population is, we are a mid-sized institution, believe it or not, with just under 5,600 students. This has various implications on your student experience and social life here at USD, in that you're going to see people that you know on campus pretty much on a daily basis. Now, earlier I said or mentioned that we are an independently run Catholic institution. That said, only 40% of our students identify as Catholic. You do not need to be Catholic to attend USD. And as a result of our private liberal arts education and our Catholic designation, we do require all of our students to take theology and religious studies courses. As far as what we offer academically, we do offer, it's 42 majors with a wealth of minors and concentrations. There are specific pre-professional advising programs. They are elect into programs. So yes, you will fill out an application, but it is an application of interest. You don't need to be admitted into the program. So these are like our pre-health programs, our pre-dentistry programs, our pre-med programs, and our pre-law programs. As a private liberal arts school, our general education requirement, known as our core curriculum, overlaps with a lot of other universities out there. All of our students have to take an English course, a math course, history courses, lab or science course with lab. But as I mentioned earlier, because of that liberal arts designation and our Catholic designation, all of our students are expected to do just a little bit more, namely the theology and religious studies courses, but also this idea of becoming an engaged world citizen, and that all of our students actually have to take 3 semesters of college level foreign language. Just to kind of put it in perspective, we are in a binational city. So we are in San Diego, the 8th largest city in the United States. and 20 minutes away from us is Mexico. So, we do have students who go across the border on a weekly basis to participate in programming that we have with community-based organizations in Tijuana and also in Baja California. But then we also have robust study abroad programs that our transfer students take advantage of as well. Being a, mid-sized institution that I would argue is fairly small, we do have smaller class sizes. So our average class size is 21 students. You're really going to know the people in your classrooms, but more importantly, you're going to know the professor who is there to really invest in your success and to ensure that you are successful in the class that they are teaching. No one at USD is ill-willed in that way that they're trying to hold you back. They want you to continue your studies and graduate within to complete your degree program. There are various ways that we support transfer students, namely our transfer orientation, which occurs the weekend before school starts, but also through our transfer learning community program, which is a great way for you to transition both academically and socially to our campus. All of our students who come in will take a transfer learning community course, and it is a course that actually satisfies a general education requirement. So, you may have, you may only be coming to USD with 24 units, which is our minimum requirement. And so you'll have a wealth of options as far as how you can complete that transfer learning community course. Or for students who have 60 or more units, there are probably going to be fewer options, and they're probably going to be a little bit more specific to the unique areas of our general education requirements. So an example of that is theology and religious studies. The students that you see pictured here are also your assigned peer mentors. So you're going to be assigned to one of these lovely folks during your first semester, and they're going to be your go-to resource for anything, really. If you have questions about academic opportunities or social opportunities on campus, or just, like, hey, where can I heat up my food, or where can I take a nap on campus? They're going to be there to guide you. They are a group made up of transfer students. So they were in your shoes not so long ago. Typically, they've completed a year at USD in order to, volunteer their time for this program. And yes, they are volunteers. So they are ensuring that you are transitioning successfully here on campus. Our minimum requirements are pretty straightforward. We do offer a flexible path towards admission with a 3.0 cumulative college GPA and the completion of 24 transferable units or 36 quarter units. You can apply to USD with those 24 units in progress, okay? As far as students who are thinking about transferring to USD with just the minimum, we do ask that you prioritize college level algebra as well as English composition and literature. And as previously mentioned, a lot of our core curriculum does align itself with IGETSI, so you can have multiple eggs out there in various baskets and also be considered for admission at USD. Transfer information sessions are a way to engage with our campus. They are offered bi-monthly, both virtually and in person. So if you're wanting to know more about the transfer information or the transfer process to USD, feel free to join us for one of those. Transfer Tuesdays are basically open Tuesdays where I can take one-on-one appointments with students and meet them individually to really talk about anything that is relevant to you. So it may involve, sitting down and figuring out what courses transfer to USD, or, just, giving you tips about the essay, or, addressing some of the concerns that you have about the transfer process. We do admit students throughout the year, both in fall and spring. Fall 2022, that application deadline is next year, so March 1st. I would not recommend completing that application until well after the new year. For spring applicants, that application deadline is right around the corner. October 1st. That is for a January start date. As far as financing your education is concerned, our tuition cost is not necessarily the actual cost you will pay, in that 76% of our students receive financial assistance of some kind. You can offset that $52,120 per year through transfer merit scholarships, which is $10,000 that can be awarded for up to 3 years. In order to be considered for that scholarship, you are automatically considered. So as long as you apply, students who have 24 units completed at the time of applying and a 3.75 GPA will be awarded that scholarship. University scholarships tend to be talent-based, or a tryout is needed. These are our NCAA Division I scholarships, our NROTC scholarships, music scholarships, and choral scholarships. Departmental scholarships are also included in university scholarships, but please keep in mind that as a transfer student, you would be considered for those scholarships after completing your first semester at USD. Need-based financial aid is also available. In order to be considered for that, please fill out a FAFSA by March 2nd. This is where Pell Grants and Cal Grants are considered and are included in offsetting your education, as well as any loans that can be offered to you. If you're hoping to connect with me, feel free to shoot me an email. You can also schedule a one-on-one appointment with me right now via my Calendly link. And then I encourage everyone to browse our transfer admissions website just to get a foundational understanding of what we look for in the transfer process. Thank you so much and have a good day.
All right, thank you so much. So we are, let's see, we do have a couple of questions. One question is UC San Diego and University of San Diego the same? They are not the same. One is part of the UC system, which is a public university system in California, and the other is a private school. Let's see, the next question is, I plan to graduate high school and graduate with my AAT in the same year. When I apply to any of your universities, would I be considered a first-year student or a transfer student?
At USD, you'll be applying as a first-year student, and we will consider any dual enrollment courses that you've taken during your junior and senior year as transfer credit.
At UC Davis, it's the same way. So if all that work is completed before you graduate from high school, you are considered a first year. And then yes, anything that is considered transferable will be used to meet certain requirements on campus.
For La Sierra, it's going to be exactly the same.
For Pepperdine, you will be considered a first year if you have completed less than 20 units coming in for Seaver College. For Pepperdine Grad Studio, you cannot be accepted into the specific program until you've met the 60 unit requirement. So sorry, that's a confusing answer, but I think it's best to reach out to your top schools and ask specifically.
Okay, thank you all so much. Let me just finish responding to this quick chat question because it really isn't for a particular college. And then we'll begin over. And I hope we'll be able to squeeze in one more session. We're just right on time. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording. Forgot that I was recording. And we won't record the last session, so we will go ahead and take it from the top with La Sierra University.
All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I'm an admissions counselor for La Sierra University. I'm also here today with my colleagues Santiago and Samantha, so feel free to ask any questions and they can answer them for you guys in the chats. Today, we're just very quickly going to go over some basic information about transferring to La Sierra. If you have any questions after the presentation today that we don't get to cover, all of my contact information will be listed at the end. So feel free to take a screenshot or write it down and then reach out to me with any other questions that you have. So here are some quick facts about La Sierra. We are located in Riverside. We are a small private Christian university, but we do accept students from all faith backgrounds. We have around 2,000 students at La Sierra. For our undergraduates, we do offer around 60 majors, and our average class size is about 20 students. All of our undergrad students do have both a faculty and an academic advisor that work with you throughout your degree program to ensure that you're getting all of the classes that you need for your degree. And then for those of you interested in going into healthcare, we do have a dedicated pre-health advisor on our campus. And then we also have a really close relationship with Loma Linda University, and their recruiters help to advise our pre-health students. So La Sierra is a great choice for anyone who is considering going into a healthcare program at any institution, but in particular, Loma Linda University. Here's just a quick list of some of the resources that we have available for our students. I'm not going to really go over these just because we're short on time, but if you do have any questions about any of these resources, please don't hesitate to contact me. So how do you apply to La Sierra? The first step is to submit the free online application. Just go to lasierra.edu. The application is quick and easy, and we don't have an application deadline, so you can apply for any of our 3 start dates at any time, and our 3 start dates are our fall, winter, and spring quarters. The second step is to submit the application requirements, which I'll go over a little bit more on the next slide. And then lastly, once everything has been turned in, then your application is reviewed for acceptance and evaluated for transfer units. So here's a list of our requirements. You must have completed at least 8 semester or 12 quarter units with a 2.0 GPA. We also require that you submit official high school and college transcripts, but there are some exceptions for the high school transcript. And then for our incoming ADTs, you are not required to submit high school transcripts, but there is an additional form on our website that we do require that you submit. If you need a link to that form, please reach out to me and I'll be happy to provide you with that. And then I do just want to point out that for our transfer students, we only require the application and transcripts. We do not require that you submit any test scores or recommendation letters or any sort of writing sample. So for our ADT students, we do accept 20 ADTs, and you can find the full list of the ADTs that we accept on our website. As an ADT student, you enter La Sierra as a junior, and you only need to take the core classes for your major. And then if you're transferring into a similar degree program, you can finish that bachelor's program in 2 years at La Sierra. If anyone is interested in learning more about our ADT programs, you can check out our website. The link is listed here on the page. And then you can always reach out to me and I can connect you with our ADT advisor for more information. So just briefly going to touch on financial aid and tuition. For those interested in learning more specific information about our tuition and financial aid, please reach out to me and I can provide you with more detail, or I can do a financial estimate for you. Just keep in mind that these costs that are listed here on the screen are the costs before any scholarships or financial aid is applied. So these costs will go down significantly once we factor in your financial aid. For our commuter students, which is the bulk of our transfer students, the total tuition and fees is just over $34,000 for the year. And then for those that want to live on campus in one of our dorms, the total tuition and fees and room and board is around $43,000. Around 95% of our undergrad students do qualify for financial assistance at La Sierra. So again, those prices on the previous slide will go down for pretty much all of our transfer students. We do offer various types of financial aid to our students, including university scholarships, which offer need-based and merit-based scholarships, federal and state financial aid. We also accept any external scholarships they may have received. And then if anyone does qualify for education benefits with the VA, we do accept 7 education chapters, including the Yellow Ribbon program. And on our website, you can find the full list of the chapters that we accept and how to sign up for that. So we do recently have a brand new information hub website for our transfer students. If you go to lawsierra.edu/transfer, you're going to find all of the relevant information for our incoming transfer students, including financial aid information, a link to the application, admissions information, and more. So if you are really interested in transferring to La Sierra, I definitely recommend that you check out our new transfer website. So then lastly, if you do have any additional questions, you can always check out our website, lawsierra.edu. You can always go directly to our transfer website, which is lawsierra.edu/transfer. And then all of my contact information is listed here for you. So for any additional questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Tiffany Marmolejo. I am a recruitment advisor for Pepperdine Grat-CDO Business School, and I am also currently pursuing my MBA at Pepperdine as well. So I am a student just like all of you. So just a little bit about Pepperdine. This is our main Malibu campus. We always get voted most beautiful campus, and this picture really shows why. At Seaver College, which is our main Malibu campus that you see here, where our students actually live. Yes, they live on campus in dorms here. Our 5 most popular majors are business administration, psychology, biology, economics, and sports medicine. So today I'm going to be talking specifically to my business majors about our Bachelor of Science in Management degree that's hosted through Pepperdine Grat-CDO, which is a graduate level business school. For those of you who are interested in all of our other programs, please screenshot this information, take a quick pen and write down Michael's information. He can help with any other major that you're interested in, and really shed some light, since our transfer requirements are very different, and our transfer admission guarantee is only through the BSM program. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and jump into my presentation. Again, this is for the Bachelor of Science in Management program. What we're looking for is 60 units of transferable credit. This is a transfer specific degree. Once you transfer into the program, you are guaranteed to graduate in 2 years. So I know that sounds weird, but when you actually do transfer to schools, sometimes there can be a delay with graduation, just depending on being able to get the classes that you need. So it's important to ask those questions. How long does it take for our students to graduate on average? So for us, yes, you do graduate in 2 years once you transfer. In addition to that, you'll take the 60 lower division units that you gain at community college and pair them with the 60 upper division units that you take with us, and that will make up your 120 units of your Bachelor of Science in Management degree. Now, this degree is completed in 15-week trimesters. So that's really important to look up when you are looking at different schools. There's difference between trimesters and quarter systems. So trimesters just give you a little bit more time to take in the information, but quarter systems are great because they also move really fast. Now, this program in particular is accessible for working professionals. So if you're looking for a program where you can work that 9 to 5 role and then come to evening classes and then maybe take some classes over Saturdays, this is definitely the right program for you. A lot of my students can excel in their workplace and in the classroom just by taking this program. Now, last but not least, we do offer this program fully online. So for those of you who have really enjoyed the online workspace and enjoyed learning virtually, this could be a great fit. Now, your professors will be live with you online and your classmates, so you are required to participate. In my business law class right now, we have 13 students. So my professor actually knows my name. He knows what I do for a living, and he's a really great resource for my learning environment. For those of you who do not enjoy the online space, because I know there's some people who miss being on campus, we also offer this program in the West LA campus, which is conveniently located near LAX. The biggest reason why my students choose this degree in particular is our joint MBA. So students complete their bachelor's degree in 2 years. Upon graduating, you will have the opportunity to waive up to 1 year of your master's degree coming in to this program. So, and then as an added bonus, we even will give you additional tuition discounts. So if you graduate with a 3.7 GPA, we will gift you 50% off of your tuition. And if you graduate with a 3.9 GPA, you will earn a full ride to Pepperdine, which is really exciting. So we look forward to hosting you and teaching you a little bit more about the MBA life. Now, transfer requirements. I'm going to breeze through these. Every school that you look at will be absolutely different. So I do recommend reaching out to the schools that you're really interested in. Again, for my business majors, some of the highlights for our transfer requirements is we do not require business calculus. So if that is what really scares you and what's keeping you from transferring, we should definitely talk about this program. In addition to that, we do not require a lab for your natural science. And last but not least, our electives are kind of anything under the sun. So for my joint services transcripts and our veterans, those will all transfer in. If you've taken ESL courses, those will transfer in as electives as well. So the transfer requirements are going to be a little bit different, and I have seen students shave up to 6 months off of their transfer time. In addition, we also have a transfer admission guarantee. And again, this will look different for every university, but for Pepperdine Grat Studio, we are looking for a cumulative 2.8 GPA, 60 units of incoming transfer coursework. And I forgot to mention, if you don't know what classes to take and how to qualify, I love to help my students one-on-one. We'll pull up the classes that you can take for every semester at your specific community college, and we'll make a plan that really suits you and really fits you. And definitely a plan that you're confident with. I think that's the most important piece of it. In addition to that, we are also looking for 2 years of paid work experience. Now, this can be anything from Starbucks barista all the way up to CEO to family company. If you're questioning whether or not you have the work experience, I have a feeling you probably do, but I can confirm that for you as well. And then my most important part is scholarships. So again, regardless of the university that you're looking into, please, if you take anything from today, understand that sticker price does not equal the actual price. So a lot of students go on websites and they get scared because they get this sticker shock when they see these huge dollar amounts coming in from different schools. Rarely do students ever pay the amount that is shown on the website. What all of our universities have in common is that we will offer different types of institutional-based scholarships. Now, at Grat Studio, our scholarships are automatically awarded, and they are based on your incoming work experience as well as your GPA. This can take off up to 57% of your tuition. So it's great to ask questions. Also keep in mind that any Pell Grants or Cal Grants or any other types of award that you're getting through FAFSA will also be deducted from that total amount. So these are all stackable. They all come together, especially our veterans with your post 9/11 and different GI bills that are out there. This can really reduce the price. So don't get scared by the sticker price. Last but not least, I will leave my QR code up for a moment. Again, I love to work with my students one-on-one. You'll have an actual face that will answer your phone calls and do one-on-one Zoom sessions with you to just make sure that you feel prepared and confident for this transition. And one last thing to note is ask your universities how many times a year you could start. So for us in particular, we have 3 different start times: spring, summer, and fall. Our next available start time is spring of 2022. We have our priority deadline coming up for October 1st for classes that will start in January. So best of luck to all of you on your transfer, and I hope you get everything that you want from the universities you love. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Leticia Garay and I'm representing UC Davis today. I'm also a UC Davis alumna, so feel free to ask your student life related questions throughout the presentation as well. But as a quick overview as to who we are and where we're at, We are located in Northern California, and we actually are the most northern UC campus out of a system of 9 campuses. We like to say we're centrally located, about 20 minutes away from the state capitol, which is very convenient if you're trying to go into policy or politics, because we do actually have elected representatives reach out to our campus for internship purposes. If you're trying to do something else, like pre-med, for example, we have our medical school in Sacramento as well, where you can do internships with medical professionals as an undergraduate student. So preparing yourself for that medical school application. We are also about 2 hours away from Lake Tahoe and 3 hours from Yosemite. So our students love to be able to plan weekend trips for camping, hiking, or even whitewater rafting in these 2 locations and still be able to come back to our campus for Monday morning classes. In addition to that, fun fact, if you're hoping to do something in the environmental sciences or engineering, we do have a research center in Lake Tahoe where we're actually doing research with NASA. Outside of that, our actual campus is considered a college town, meaning that 50% of the city is made up of students. So literally everything in the city of Davis revolves around student life and student accessibility. So it makes it very easy to navigate college life, even when the university is about 30,000 undergraduate students. So you get that kind of smaller university feel, even though it is a larger university. So you get the research opportunities with the larger universities and the networking with that, but you don't have to feel overwhelmed when you're on campus. A quick history lesson. So we actually started off as UC Berkeley's University Research Farm. And so you'll see that's why we have some of our highest rankings in the agricultural sciences, in the environmental sciences and veterinary sciences. But if you're not hoping to do anything in those areas, we actually are the 5th best public university in the nation, meaning that you'll get a lot of return on investment if you decide to attend UC Davis, because our graduates are prepared for the that they're hoping to aspire to, or a graduate program after graduation. As an example, we have about 80% of our pre-med students get admitted into their first or second choices for medical school. And that's because we have a lot of resources to prepare our students for that next step after graduation. We have over 100 different majors and almost as many minors, and with the possibility of being able to create your own major and or minor as well. And you'll see our top 5 or most popular majors listed on the right-hand side. We divide our majors by colleges, and that just helps facilitate networking as well as graduation requirements. But as a transfer student, this will also kind of dictate the additional major requirements that you'll have. So it's very important to pay attention to major preparation as a transfer student. And we know that navigating transfer requirements it can be pretty complicated and a little confusing. So that's why we have resources like our Transfer Admission Planner, which is an online planner where you include all your academic work from the community college. And it is something that every UC campus advisor can access. So whether you're interested in UC Davis or interested in one of our sister campuses like UC San Diego or UC Berkeley, we can all look at this and we can all help you navigate what you need to do in order to be admission ready for our campuses. And then 6 out of the 9 UC campuses also offer a transfer admission guarantee or a tag. It's just a different way of being admitted. Essentially, you're not competing with other students in the same major. And that is due by September 30th. So if you're hoping to apply for the upcoming fall quarter, fall of 2022, you have 9 days to submit that tag application. So, just pay attention to that deadline because it is earlier than our general application. Here you'll see some specific financial aid statistics in regards to UC Davis students. But what I'd like to say is that the FAFSA and the DREAM Act is really where you're going to get most of your financial aid from. So it's very important to submit those on time. The Blue and Gold Opportunity Program, which a lot of our students actually take advantage of through the FAFSA or California DREAM Act, will cover the entirety of your tuition for the 2 or 3 years as a transfer student. So it's very useful in reducing just cost of attendance. And just quickly going over the UC application timeline. So we're all on the same application timeline. We all share the one UC application that is self-reported. meaning that no transcripts are required. And you can start that as early as August 1st, and you have until November 30th to submit that. If you're hoping to do a guarantee program for one of the 6 campuses that offer it, that application is a separate one, but it's due in September. So all students have to submit the UC application by November 30th, regardless if you do the tag or not. And then in April, you'll hear back from all of the campuses you applied to. So, just wait until the end of the month before you start panicking if you haven't heard from one of our campuses, because we all release dates at different times or different dates in the month. And then if you're narrowing down your selection to UC campuses, you have until June 1st to decide which of our campuses that you applied to you would like to attend for the fall quarter. Lastly, I mentioned, advising and resources. So if you go to the tag.ucdavis.edu website, you'll see that this is the best way to connect with an advisor to have that one-on-one advising in regards to tag or all things general admissions or even campus life. So I highly recommend going to that website so that way you can get in contact with a counselor who can help you throughout the process. But thank you so much for your time.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew Al-Sarimi Espiritu. I'm the Transfer Admissions Counselor at the University of San Diego, and I'll be sharing with you on how you can build your path to USD. So this is a brief snapshot of our campus community. We serve just under 5,600 undergraduate students. That makes us a mid-sized institution, believe it or not. If you're curious about how many students identify as transfer students on campus, you're not going to be the only transfer student on campus, I assure you, and that 28% of that 5,600 are transfer students who've come from California community colleges across the nation, as well as other four-year schools. This picture that you see here is of the diocese-run church that runs on our campus. It holds mass every single day. We are a Catholic private liberal arts school here in Central San Diego. Do you have to be Catholic to attend USD? The figures that you see down here below suggest that you don't, and that's exactly right. Only 40% of our students identify as Catholic. Regardless of your faith tradition, whether you have one or not, you will find a community here at USD. What we offer academically, well, first and foremost, again, we are a private liberal arts school. So, a lot of our general education requirements are, it's known as actually as a core curriculum at USD. It's going to overlap with what, pretty much every single other school requires. So all of our students are expected to take English courses, math courses, history, science with a lab, art, communication, etc. But because of that private liberal arts designation, as well as our Catholic designation, we do have other requirements. So first and foremost, all of our students have to take 2 courses in theology and religious studies. They also have to take a standalone literature course. And on top of that, which often comes as a surprise, all of our students have to take 3 semesters of a foreign language. That is due to our liberal arts designation, but also our changemaker designation. And our changemaker designation is very unique to us in that we are one of 42 changemaker schools in the entire world. And in order to be a changemaker school, you have to have emphasis in various areas such as social justice, sustainability, entrepreneurship, and global citizenship. Knowing that we're in San Diego, we are located in a binational region in that 20 minutes away is the Mexico border. So there is a lot of programming that our students take advantage of across the border, whether it be in Tijuana or Baja California. We do offer 42 majors. This slide is slightly updated or slightly old, in that it does not account for our newly added data analytics major within the School of Business. For students who are thinking about the next step, graduate school, oftentimes that's what that equates to. if you're thinking about going into a health area such as dentistry, veterinary medicine, physician assistantships, we do have specialized pre-professional programs. We also have a pre-law program as well. Knowing that our undergraduate population is just under 5,600 students, we pride ourselves in having a small, tight-knit, inclusive campus community that translates itself inside the classroom as well, and that our average class size is 21 students. Student to faculty ratio is 12-1. That means you're really going to not only know the students in your classrooms, but you're also going to know your professor. And your professor is the one who is going to be in charge of all direct instruction. So you're not going to have a graduate assistant who's, pursuing their PhD, teaching any courses. It's going to be the expert in the room, and they are highly invested in your success. They are not wanting to hold you back in any way. As far as how we specifically support our transfer students, we do have transfer specific orientation. Typically it's 2 to 3 days the weekend before school starts. Lots of information that is going to be shared with you, namely the resources and the contacts of those resources, should you have any questions or concerns about your time at USD. The picture that with the students, those are actually peer mentors that are assigned to all of you. They are going to basically be, walking you through campus, and you kind of negotiate your relationship with them. So, if you have a lot of needs, or, if you just need questions answered immediately, they'll typically be, your initial contact. They were former transfer students themselves, transferring from, various community colleges or other four-year schools. So they definitely understand the challenge, both from an academic and social standpoint when coming here. In addition to that, all of our students are enrolled in a transfer learning community. Essentially, it's a class that all of our students take. And it's actually a class that meets a general education requirement of ours. So the classes differ in nature. You could actually be in a theology and religious studies transfer learning community course, but you could also be in a history transfer learning community course. Whatever you are assigned to, again, it's going to satisfy a general education requirement of ours. So it's nothing that you have to do extra while at USD. Our transfer admission requirements are fairly flexible in that all that we ask for is a 3.0 cumulative college GPA. So high school GPA is not factored into calculating that GPA for admission, and the completion of 24 transferable units. So that is based on a semester calendar. 36 quarter units would be the equivalent. Only thinking about coming to USD with the bare minimum, we do ask that you come in with at least college level algebra and English composition and literature. Oftentimes that's your first year writing course or English course in order to be considered a competitive applicant. One thing to note, none of our 42 majors are impacted at all. So if you are admitted to USD, you can pursue any major that you like. We don't have minimum GPAs for specific majors, again, only because we do not admit by major at USD. So if you're curious about, hey, what's a competitive GPA for, engineering or, bio, traditional impacted majors, I wouldn't be able to tell you because, again, if you are admitted to USD and the minimum requirement is a 3.0 cumulative college GPA, you can pursue any major that we offer here. In order to connect with us, I definitely encourage you to attend one of our transfer information sessions. We hold them twice a month, both in person and actually virtually. And then Transfer Tuesdays are specific days each week throughout the year, where you can connect with me between the hours of 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Right now, it's appointment based. Back when we were operating fully in person, you could just stop by without an appointment. Application deadlines for USD. If you're thinking about the fall term, March 1st is our deadline. The spring term, October 1st. So if you're looking at fall of 2022, please submit your application by March 1st of 2022. As far as financing your education, yes, our tuition is $52,120 per year. Some of the other college reps have mentioned, this is not the actual price you might end up paying. There are various ways to offset your education, and that 76% of our students receive financial assistance of some kind. Transfer merit scholarships are fairly new in that we started awarding them this fall, for incoming fall transfer students. In order to be considered for this, you'll have to have 24 units completed at the time of applying and have at least a 3.75 cumulative college GPA. $10,000 per year will be awarded to you, and that is good for up to 3 years. University scholarships are also available. These tend to be talent-based, the majority of which are NCAA Division I athletic scholarships, music, choral, and NROTC scholarships. We also have departmental scholarships. So depending on your major, there may be scholarship opportunities. Those specific departmental scholarships you would be eligible for after completing your first semester at USD. Need-based financial aid, definitely encourage all folks to submit that FAFSA by the priority deadline, which is March 2nd in the state of California. That will put you into contention for any free money that the school can award you, in addition to the Cal Grant and Pell Grants, and then also allow you to be considered for student loans as well. That's it for me. You can connect with me in various ways. I'm available via email. And then as far as making an appointment with me and viewing my calendar, you can use the Calendly link down below. Definitely encourage you to visit our transfer admissions website to get a full understanding of what we look for during the transfer admissions process. Thank you so much, and have a good day.
All right, I'd like to say thank you to all of you. For the students out there who are watching, our representative from UC Davis had to go on to another meeting, so she's no longer with us. And we have just one question in the chat, and it is for USD School of Business. Do you accept IGETC for transfer?
So as I mentioned in the presentation, a lot of our general education requirement aligns with IGETC. So there are ways to fulfill our general education requirement should you also be applying to one of the state schools. There are unique areas within our general education requirements that the state schools don't necessarily have require, but again, you can also complete them at a community college. And then as far as business prep, you don't have to come in with the business prep completed. You can have one course completed, you can have all courses completed, you can have 0 courses completed. The only thing that I would say is that if you are looking at other schools, oftentimes they're wanting all those courses completed. And, it's pretty universal as far as business prep is concerned. Ours is not very different. It's microeconomics, macroeconomics, financial and managerial accounting, and calculus. So those are kind of the basic areas.
All right, well, thank you so much. And thank you to all of you for spending your time with us and for all that you do in partnering and helping with our students. We really appreciate it. So if you do have any questions, the reps gave you their contact information, and you can always connect with us here at your local community colleges so we can help you out as well. All right, thank you, everyone. Have a great day.